put it live on YouTube so that people can take it. Okay, the meeting is now being live streamed on YouTube, so that people can listen there. In case you get logged out and if you're unable to log back in, the only way to catch up on the session would be go to High School Mom's YouTube channel and listen to the session there. What are we going to cover today? We're going to cover about how the world has changed, because please understand, students do have an opportunity to listen to me multiple times. There are about 1,000+ schools in this country who keep on inviting me. There are days when I'm speaking at 4 different schools at the same time. And so they have a lot of knowledge. The problem happens is when they come back home, they don't talk to us. And that's a typical teenager, right? घर आने के बाद उनके पास हमारे से बात करने का टाइम नहीं है. And it is important, hence, for us as parents to be aware what they are aware of. That's the only way we will be able to help them in their career and college journey. So I'm going to tell you how the world has changed. I'm going to also tell you about the futuristic careers, and I have tried breaking it down into PCM, PCB, humanities, and commerce so that it's easy for all of you to understand. I might not be able to cover everything, but I have covered pretty much all the top-notch careers that ideally you should be thinking about. I will also be covering about admissions processes, college applications, and most importantly, एक बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम हम सबको आता है. बच्चे से पूछते हैं तो बच्चा बोलता है, I want to go abroad to study. But the parent says, I want you to do your undergrad in India and think about doing postgrad outside India. Now, that's simply because some of us are not financially prepared for sending our children abroad. So I'm going to also tell you that it is possible to study in India and possible to study outside India on scholarship, and you do not have to be a super, super intelligent kid to get scholarships in today's time. So I'm going to tell you about all that. That doesn't mean that Navya is not intelligent. Navya is definitely intelligent, who got a full ride in India. I was telling my team the other day that Navya's parents should send us a gift simply because we saved 50 lakh rupees of them in India, and she's sitting on multiple offer letters outside India, and she has still not, no, Avni, I think she did send us a coffee, did she?
Yes, she did send us a coffee.
She did send us a coffee from Mumbai. And then I'm going to also talk about how to build profile. Please understand, this is going to be the most important step that you will have to listen to, because without profile, no college will give admissions in today's time, not in India, not outside India. And then I'm going to tell you how you can help in the next steps. My only request is, one, small pen is better than big memory. Please make notes. And two, half knowledge is dangerous. So if you are planning that you do not even have, and especially for all the parents whose kids are listening, let me put you into the spot. अगर आप अगले 4 घंटे यहाँ नहीं बैठ सकते, you're trying to prove to your child that you do not even have 4 hours for their 40 years. So you decide before you're quitting what kind of an impression you're going to tell your child. So it's very, very important. So we're going to cover everything on that front. Okay, we already have started getting questions. How do I book a counseling session for my kid? Okay, Kuldeep, we will take all your questions later on. So my request is, while I'm talking, I am not looking at the questions right now. So wait till the session is getting over. आपको 4 घंटे बैठ के सुनना है, मुझे 4 घंटे बोलना है. So bear with me. Now, my question to all of you, first one is, how many of you, and it's a yes and no question, how many of you truly want, and this is even for students, to become successful in next 2, 3, 4, 5 years? A yes or a no? Amazing. So most of it is a yes. Now understand this. To become successful, एक दिन बादल नहीं फटेगा और उसमें से ऑफर लेटर्स नहीं गिरेंगे. एक दिन बादल नहीं फटेगा, there will be no cloud burst and money will not fall in. Ask your parents and they will tell you. And this is very important for kids to understand. You need to actually plan your career well. My request before I start into the deep dive of career and college journey is to all the students. I have already requested parents to be here so that they can understand the college and career journey for you. But there is one request to all of you. When you guys come back home and you do not even have time to talk to your parents, do you understand how we feel as parents? We spend 7 days a week, 365 days a year, so that you can get that iPad or a Samsung tablet. We work throughout the day, and then you do not have time for us. I can tell you, your parents might try and become your friends, and you might feel they are not your friends. But trust me, your parents will be the safest space that you will ever find. Safest space. So my request to all of you is, starting today, start talking to your parents. We might be there for another 15, 20 years with all of you. And after that, we will not be there. And that's the time when you're going to miss us. Might as well start talking to us today so that you and us can enjoy next 15 to 20 years together. My next question is, how many of you, honestly, and you do not have to lie, this is a session to be truly, brutally, we have to be brutally honest with one another. Know what is your child wanting to study, and are you absolutely sure about it? Like absolutely sure about it. Give me a yes or a no. All right. My next question to all of you is, how many of you are aware of the right stream, right college, and right futuristic career, not the traditional careers that we are thinking of always? Not aware. Nope. No, no. Okay, awesome. Now, let me start by telling you who am I. And while Navya, I cannot introduce myself better than Navya, because Navya has been my mentee for last 4 years. And what better than
Abhishek, sorry, you went on mute.
so while nobody can introduce me better than my own students, so Navya introduced me, especially the kid who is sitting on multiple offer letters. But we are high school moms. We are your community. This community was created when I started finding things for my son, and I realized that there is no authentic place where I can find information for my son to build his profile or participate in the best of the competitions or apply to the best of the universities. Everybody was an agent. And that's when I thought that I have to quit my corporate job and I have to become a counselor. And my journey started almost 10 years back. Today, I'm the founder of Asia's largest parent-student community, which is high school moms. It is your community. Whichever city, whichever country we go, the house is always full like that. Apart from that, we are also the founders of International Alliance of Counselors and Educators. Now, in every industry, there is an association. So there is an association of retailers. There is an association of telecom operators. There was hardly any association in the field of education. So high school moms got together. And today, International Alliance of Counselors and Educators is an association of 1,200 plus high schools in the country and outside the country, 5,000 head of schools, guidance counselors, and 200 best and the best of universities in India and outside India. What you see on the picture are 220 odd principals we hosted in Goa last year for 3 nights at a resort called W Goa. It's the India's only residential educational conference. And believe me, for 3 nights, the doors of the resorts were closed. They were not allowed to go out. Everything they had to do, from learning to engaging to discussions to partying, happened inside the resort. And my only job in those 3 days was to talk about our children, to talk about their education, to talk about where are we suffering, what is our expectation from them. This is one conference which even gets supported by corporates like LinkedIn. So this was a conference which was supported by LinkedIn as well. We are also the founders of Teachers of the Future community. This is interesting because ये मेरा personal experience था. This was my personal experience. When I was in high school, I understand most of the parents here, no, I won't say you are my age. All of you are elder to me. I'm young. So most of us in 1990s were in high school. Assuming that my child is in grade 11, most of your kids are in high school. So we were in high school in 1990s. And I was in grade 11, I was taught a topic called calculus. Would you believe it? Till my MBA at UCLA, I had no clue where is calculus used in life. And the day I attended the calculus class, I lost interest in science and I took commerce. It so many times happens that in one class, my child loves mathematics. The very next year, child says, I hate mathematics because my teacher is not good. It happens. And that's why we created this community called Teachers of the Future, where we are training the teachers around the country on explaining to children in their classes where is their subject and where is that particular topic used in real life. And that's the way that it will change the entire paradigm for the students. Finally, high school moms also created something called GIDE, which is world's only independent inter-school high school student club. Each one of your kids can become a member of this club. I'll tell you how to become a member of this club. Students get together, they attend online workshops, they attend profile building activities, they do research under international faculty, they do internships online, they collaborate with one another and do personal projects together so that they can apply to the best of the universities with scholarships. And all of this happens after school hours or on the weekends. We do invite them to volunteer at some of our events. Today also during the session, I have invited 5 or 6 of our student council members. So this student club has members and then it has a council. Like in every school, there is a head boy, head girl, and several prefects. This council has its own director, vice president, president, various committees. And I will tell you more about the student club, which your children can also join. Just some pictures to show you about the traction we get when we travel around the country. And that's the power of building your own community. The traction that we get with educators, they come, we train them, we talk to them. Universities around the world love us. They come to India, they talk to us, and we take them to various schools. High schools invite us, and you would not know of very many communities in the world who get the respect like your community gets. Whenever I go to launch the student club inside any particular school, we are always welcomed either by the painted logo at the reception or by a 24 feet by 14 feet board. And that's the power of building your own community. So you do not need to go to any agent anymore. You can come back to high school moms and we will be happy to help your child. Now let's quickly go to how the landscape of education has changed in the last few years. And this is significantly important for all the parents and the students to understand. What we think of careers in a very traditional mindset might not be the right career for your and my child. Unfortunately, in our country, and I always say this in my sessions, if you have attended once before, you would have heard me saying this. Unfortunately, in our country, we do career counseling in a very erratic manner. For example, one of your child will come in grade 11 and come back from school and say, Mama, Papa, I got 95 in biology. And Mama and Papa will jump from the seat and will say, Beta, you are the doctor I wanted to see in the family. Ho gaya career counseling. It is so erratic. We did not even ask the child, Beta, 15 saal pad lijega. Will you be able to study for 15 years? Because you do not become a doctor by becoming an MBBS. You can write DR, but a simple MBBS does not even get a job of a medical representative in today's time. Forget about a job in a clinic or a good hospital. So it's a 15-year-long journey. But we do that. I mean, that is the weirdest way of career counseling, especially for all of you whose children have given grade 10 and grade 12 boards. Let's have some reality check. You will be very happy when your child gets 95%. Open the WhatsApp of any good counselor, and I consider myself as a good counselor. You open my WhatsApp on the day the results are announced, everybody gets above 90% in India. So just because your child got 95 in sciences in grade 10 does not mean your child is a science student. Does not mean that. The other way of erratic career counseling in this country is called Control C, Control V way of career counseling. शर्मा जी के बेटे ने ये किया है, कंट्रोल सी. मिश्रा जी की बेटी को भी यही करा देते हैं, कंट्रोल वी. I mean, this is how we are doing career counseling in this country. And then we say that, oh my God, my child is also starting his or her job at 25,000 rupees a month, like I started 20 years back. That's simply because you did not plan it. You just went with a very erratic way of mind. It's so strange that in a country where we are ready to buy cars worth tens of lakhs, which depreciates coming out of the showroom, we are not ready to spend 40, 50,000 rupees on a good counselor to build a career for a child who will buy 10 cars in lifetime and possibly 5 houses. It's very strange, but that's how it is. That's how the fact is. But the world has changed in last few years. I'll give you just 2 examples. Number one, the pandemic. Um, Today we are on Zoom thanks to pandemic. Nobody would have thought that we would be able to do a session with 1,000 people on the Zoom, and it's 805, so almost 1,000 people on the Zoom from not only around the country but around the world. You saw that people are there from Dubai, and they're there for Vietnam, and they're there for from Sharjah and other countries, and I even saw Egypt. Now, earlier we could see pandemic behind the masks. Now we do not see pandemic. Honestly speaking, today morning I had fever. I don't even have a thought that I should go and get my COVID checked. For me, it's like a normal flu. So we have attained that mental level where we will say that it's okay. I mean, it's a flu, whether it's COVID or it's a normal flu. Now, in every country, there are bigger cities, there are smaller cities. Let's take an example of India. I am talking to you from a city called Gurgaon. In my city, there is a place called Cyber Hub or Cyber City. How many of you have heard of this place? A yes or a no would do. A Y or an N would do. Okay. Now, this is that one place where there are 500 buildings in tall glass buildings, and there are 500,000 employees working. My question to all of you is, do you think all of these employees, once pandemic is over, are coming back to offices again? A yes or a no? Do you think they are all coming back to offices? Absolutely no. And I'll give you one simple reason. You would say, if I ask you the reason, you would say work from home. That's not the reason. That's an outcome. But if I tell you actually the reason, everything in this world revolves around one thing, which is called money. And money is the reason. Let's take an example. And I want one of you to be a sports person. I mean, a little sporty here. There is somebody called Mr. Vikram on the camera. I can see in a yellow t-shirt. Mr. Vikram, I'm unmuting you for 10 seconds, sir. If you can just unmute yourself.
Yeah,
My question to you is, where are you joining from, sir?
Dubai.
Dubai. Sir, you must be going to office. Do you drink tea or coffee?
Usually a coffee,
Okay. And in a particular day, how many cups of coffee do you drink, sir?
2 to 3.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, sir, for being that sporty. Thank you. So Mr. Vikram from Dubai, he goes to office and drinks about 2 to 3 cups of coffee a day. On an average, research says an average working professional drinks about 4 cups of tea or coffee in office. 4. I'm talking about Cyber Hub, ladies and gentlemen. 500,000 employees, 4 cups of tea and coffee a day, $5 a cup. We're talking about 1 crore rupees of tea and coffee a day, 30 crores a month, and 365 crore rupees in tea and coffee only a year. And I'm still not talking about toilet paper, toilet soap, pen, pencil, eraser, stationery, post-it, data, internet, electricity, employee welfare. There are so many other costs of running an office. And now you would understand why companies are not wanting everybody to come back to offices. Imagine a situation where your and my child will be working, and 70% of their time, they'll be working remotely, intercontinental, multiple time zones, and their appraisal will happen on this 2x2 inch screen. Doesn't matter what you're wearing down. For all you know, I'm sitting in my Bermudas and not even wearing a trouser right now. You do not know that, right? No, I mean, that's not the case. I'm sitting in my office, so I have to be reasonably dressed. So the world has changed. The second thing is GPT. अब मैं अपनी स्क्रीन बंद करूंगा और आपको कुछ अनोखा दिखाऊंगा. How many of you in the chat, if you can tell me, actually use chat GPT? In the chat, a yes or a no. I would say I use it like 10 hours a day. There is hardly any email which I send without taking the approval from chat GPT. Especially if it is an email to send to my colleague or an employee or a subordinate, and it is to put them on a PIP, a performance improvement plan. I will ensure that I take the approval from ChatGPT, because otherwise my email becomes a very fiery email and ChatGPT tones it down and makes it in such a manner that I'm not legally challenged, right? But I'll show you something very interesting here. And this is for all the parents who hear about ChatGPT, but who have not seen the kind of world we are in right now. So ladies and gentlemen, that's called ChatGPT. And I'll just show you something. Okay, let's say, let's come up with a very weird, on the spot caption to tell ChatGPT. So we will tell ChatGPT, hi GPT, can you make a creative or design for a career counseling session where audience, where audience is joining from, okay, my cursor is going back and forth because people are joining in. Avni, Akash, don't admit anybody for 2 seconds, please. From around the world. The session will talk about careers in science, business, and let's say humanities. And remember, let's start counting. Let's say 10 seconds are over. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I can go on and keep on giving suggestions after suggestions to GPT to improve on this design. And believe me, look at the design. Do you understand how the world is changing? I'll give you a classic example. High school moms, which is your community, is today world's largest parent-student community, but it's also a big alliance of best of the universities in India and outside India. So a lot of universities approach high school moms before they want to go ahead and enter India. So one of this university, which is possibly the #1 ranked university in Canada, I will not take the name, but you can Google the #1, #2 university in Canada and you'll know what I'm talking about. They wanted to come to India and they wanted to bring their provost and senior leadership to do some faculty-led training for faculty improvement and faculty development in India. They asked me to sign an MOU. This was right before, 1 week before Diwali. And I was like, if this MOU is not ready in next 2-3 days, then we will have a Diwali break. After that, they will have their Thanksgiving break. And they wanted to come in January, so it will get delayed. So I asked my legal team that, can you please create an MOU? My legal team sent me an Excel sheet and asked me to fill that Excel. I filled that Excel. I sent it back to the legal team that please start drafting. And please start drafting. And they said, we will charge you 3.5 lakhs because we are a community. Our legal team is not on rolls. We have empaneled a company. So let me put it this way. When the work comes, we give them money. Now, 3.5 lakhs was not a problem. The problem was they said that the first draft of MOU will only be ready in about a week, which means after that, I would have required to give the feedback. I would have sent the MOU to the university. They would have given the feedback, a lot of back and forth. Nothing would have come alive for 1 month because we generally say once it is in the hand of the legal team, it's bound to get delayed. Now, in that night, somehow I was not feeling sleepy. So I entered the same data which I had put into the chat GPT, which I had put in the Excel into the chat GPT. And I asked chat GPT to create an MOU. No surprise, chat GPT gave me the MOU. The surprising part was this university is known in the world to produce the best of the lawyers. And the MOU got approved in 3 days without any changes. I saved 3.5 lakhs for the company, but most importantly, I saved time. Whether it is ethical or not, I'm not getting into it. But the fact remains is, since the time ChatGPT has come, high school moms has let go of 3 coders because ChatGPT is able to code and program the GIDE.AI platform for us, our student club platform, with the help of 1 coder. The reason why I'm sharing this information with all of you is that when you and me were in school, we saw a day where if somebody was enrolled in an AppTech or an NIIT course, is now sitting in United States with a green card. But today also you are thinking about making your children learn coding and programming. I can tell you as a father of one of the best coders in the world, I am not going to allow my son to go and study programming and coding or pure computer science. While my son has been featured on BBC World News multiple times and he has an honorable mention from Massachusetts Institute of Technology at the age of 16. Because my understanding of careers as a counselor is very different than your understanding of careers in today's time. And the intention through this session today is make you understand how the world is changing and then make you understand how the careers are evolving. So let's go back to the presentation. But before I go to the presentation, I am told by my team that I have a bunch of students and we will spend 15-20 minutes asking them the questions. This is a very critical session for you to understand what best of the students are doing, why are they doing it, and how your child, and trust me, all these 4 or 5 students I'm going to talk to, When they came to me a couple of years back and they decided to choose me, I'm nobody to choose them. They decided to choose me as their career coach. All of them were lost and confused. And I will also take the liberty of telling you the kid who introduced me, Navya Seth, till about few months back, we were still confused whether she will go for English literature or she will go for media and communications. So children will always be confused. So let's do a small panel discussion. Avni, may I request you to unmute Navya? And I think I'll have to change my internet. Ladies and gentlemen, just give me 30 seconds. I'll change my internet. My internet seems to be fluctuating a lot. And I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So I have with me Navya. Where is Navya?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, awesome. I have with me Mihika. Where is Mihika? Mihika, say hi.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Okay, awesome. I have with me Adya. Where is Adya? Adya, are you there? Okay. I have with me Shreya Rathor. Shreya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Shreya, I can't see you on the... Okay, now I can see you on the camera. Is Rushil there? Is Rushil there? Okay, awesome. I think we will start with Navya. We'll start with Mihika. Mihika, my first question to you is, Mihika, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Mihika, my first question to you is, you are a 95% student. You are currently in grade 12. You have already given the SAT. But how do you manage your time? You are into extracurriculars. Yesterday, you and me had a meeting and you told me that, sir, I recently won an award on this project, which was a team project, and I was a group leader. My question to you is, how are you able to manage your time? And it is very important for all other students to also understand.
Well, like honestly, I would say time management is not my forte. But even then, from my part, usually when I try to manage my time and I have like a lot of tasks at hand, I always schedule them as per priority basis. So if there is something that I have to do urgently, like I have a deadline, I have to like complete it by then. So first I'll do that, and after that I'll focus on the less important tasks, you could say. So that's one thing. But a primary problem for me also is that on the weekdays I have coaching and all that, so I hardly have any time left for other things. So for me, I mainly have to see how I can utilize my weekends. So
Okay.
I think weekend utilization is really significant.
Right. And Mihika, apart from your studies, you gave an exam called SAT. Now, in your case, I understand you want to go abroad and study. But ladies and gentlemen, the fact remains is that's one exam which is even valid in India in 50 plus universities. What was your reason of writing the SAT? Why did you take the SAT?
Well, like according to me, since I want to go to abroad, so that was my reason for writing the SATs. But as now I've also heard that SATs are even applicable for India, like the Flame University. So there also SATs can help you get in, or the Ashoka University in India. So like that, but SATs will a good score in that would help you get into a lot of top universities of the world, which everybody wants to get into, right? So yeah, definitely that is something why I wrote it.
Perfect. And one last question to you, Beta, is you are already sorted. Um, you already know what you want to do. You are already building your profile. You are already a great student. You know how proud I am for you. why would you still need a career coach? Why did you decide to come to me? Why would you need a career coach?
The major problem was that I was very confused because like I have a lot of interest. Many times people are confused that they don't know what to do because there's not like they don't know what they're good at. But it's like I have so many interests that I didn't know okay, in which direction do I want to go as a career. Right, because like I love English literature also at the same time I love technology and science and at the same time like cultural pursuits as well. So for that, I think I required a lot of guidance and as a career coach, you have given me that like throughout. The support is really important for this. So yeah,
Amazing. How much did you score in your SAT, Mihika?
1530.
Ladies and gentlemen, any score above 1400 is a great score. Mihika scored 1530. Very proud to say that Mihika actually prepared for SAT with Genius Zen, which is also owned by your community called High School Moms. So thank you so much, Mihika. Let's go to, it's very important to understand, and this is very important for parents to understand, that when you look at students like Mihika, they might not be sorted completely, but somewhere or the other, they are able to prioritize what is important and what is not. And my request to all the students out there who are listening is, there is a reason why I brought these students to talk to you, because these are super achievers. Not that, while I always tell Mihika, tell your mom to send me the recipe, what she feeds you, so that I can feed the same thing to Shivansh. That's a banter between me and Mihika always.
Yeah.
But the fact remains is that there is a lot to learn from successful students. And once you start imbibing even 10% of it, you will understand that you're able to manage time and you're able to do multiple things. Thank you, Mihika, for joining, Beta.
Thank you.
Let's go to Navya right now. Navya, um, you are a part of the GIDE Student Council. So Navya is a very active member of HSM Student Club. Like I told you, that's the only club in the world which is an independent student club, has its own student council. Navya is a part of the student council as well. Navya, Warwick, UK, University of Bath, one of the actually ranked #1 for marketing and media and communications in UK. Indiana, Bloomington, and a full ride 100% scholarship from Flame University in India. वो अलग बात है, हम तेरे को मिठी भाई में ही पढ़ाएंगे, हम कहीं नहीं भेजेंगे.
Yeah.
Okay, but all A-star kid all throughout, Navya. When you came to me 4 years back, 3 years back, you were very confused. I'm not going to say you're not confused even today, but if you have to summarize your journey in 30 seconds, from confusion to a little bit of clarity, how would you summarize it?
Sure, sir. Thank you for that. So I think it was three things that I wanted to be really mindful about. First, identifying what I want to do in life. I, again, as Amika also mentioned, even I had the problem of plenty. I still enjoy English literature. I enjoyed management. I enjoyed, kind of playing sports, doing poetry, a lot of different varied interests that are on the two opposite ends of the spectrum. So it's difficult when you have to choose and, come down to one option where you're trying to get all those options together. So one was identifying where my true interests lie. And that, I think, was one of the biggest obstacles that I conquered, understanding that, yes, my fortes, my communication, my ability to express, ability to write, ability to talk. And rather than running behind things that there are people who are already better than me, I focus on things that are my forte and I'm actually good at. I can do much better. So one was that. Second was understanding what people around me in terms of my parents and my teachers expect from me in terms of academics, because let's be fair, I mean, as much as we want to be good at extracurricular activities, if your academic foundation is not strong, universities are not even going to reach your profile if you do not meet their minimum entry criteria of, let's say, an A star or 85 or 90%. So I always was looking straight at this thing that I need to get an X amount of grade if I want to go somewhere, and not just to show on my report card, but also for my own satisfaction. Because when you do that, you are self-motivated. And third was understanding what universities want, because they want a student who is compassionate, passionate, and able to add value to the entire community where they're calling you to study. So understanding all of these bits was crucial. And on the way, I think GUIDE has played a monumental role along with HSM to help me become that individual that is being able to cater to all these three sides, whether it's to my own personal growth, academic growth, or the growth of my holistic profile. I've been able to do a lot of internships, workshops, participate in competitions that have not just inculcated these soft skills, the 21st century skills like communication, interpersonal skills, collaborative skills, but also added, like, I would say, crucial, significant value to my profile, because universities do recognize that you were hardworking, determined when you join sessions, you're wanting to learn about something, you want to do something apart from just the being stuck in the four walls of the classroom. So I think it's been a very wholesome and fulfilling journey the last 3 years, or 2 years specifically, because I've seen myself grow as an individual. And I think that's one of the most remarkable changes anyone should aim for or work towards.
Ladies and gentlemen, most of the time we feel that a lot of time, parents come to me uh, and ask me, how do I counsel? Navya is actually in Mumbai and Navya is sitting with offer letters. So understand that technology today allows you to collaborate, whether she was able to collaborate with students through the student club, build her profile. Navya, one question. Um, so disclaimer again, Navya was also a student of SAT with Genius Zen, and which is owned by High School Moms now. We have recently acquired it. Navya was a student much before. Uh, but Navya, you never wanted to write SAT, but then you decided to write SAT. And now with one SAT, you are sitting on multiple offer letters, both in India and outside India. And your class 12th board results are also not out. Are you happy with your decision?
Absolutely, because I keep on saying this, that when you told me first, before 2 years, give SAT, I gave a deaf ear, and I think that was one of the greatest mistakes that I made, because I was always under I had this misconception that SAT is only required if you want to go to the US. Little did I know, and I'm talking from the experience of having already done my applications now. Every
Not
form that
application, having offer letters from the
offer
best of the
letter.
universities around the world. Yeah.
Yes, also that I have realized that every application, that the form that comes to us when you're supposed to fill and send in your profile and your essays, asks you for an SAT score. In fact, even in the UK, where it nowhere explicitly mentions we need SAT, I had an option to put in my SAT score. And I mean, I'm not even lying about this. I've spoken to the admission officers who I applied when I met them in fairs and all of that. And they all also emphasize on the fact that although we do not explicitly say, we do give like the SAT score does add value to your overall profile. So definitely, and also the fact that yes, it's been really helpful in my profile and getting through universities and getting scholarships, but also how it has contributed to my academic journey as a whole. Because of my SATs, the portion and the syllabus is very, very similar to what you study at grade 10, regardless of the curriculum, whether it's IG, IB, or CBSE or SSE. The content that they're expecting you to know is very similar. What changes is the way they're asking it. So when I was actually preparing for my SAT, I was using the same content, refining my knowledge of that content, but also becoming more alert, because you have a stipulated time under which you're supposed to finish your exam. I was inculcating habits of hard work, because you need continuous practice when you're preparing for SATs. So all these skills also you develop when you give this one exam. And trust me, I mean, it's made my life much simpler, because with this one exam, I didn't have to give flames feet. I didn't have to give so many other, in fact, NMIMS, NPAT, none of these exams I had to give entrance. I just had to give my SAT score. So definitely it's a great decision that I stole to take.
Thank you so much, Navya, on that front. I will also invite quickly in 5 minutes. I'll invite Adya. Adya, if you're there, beta, just unmute yourself, say hi. Ladies and gentlemen, in next 5 minutes, we'll start with the careers and then we will go to the admissions process. Please be patient because I wanted to let these students get free. They were waiting. And once I'm done with them in next 5 minutes, we'll start again with the journey of career and college advisory. Adya, say hi, beta.
Hello everyone, good morning. Hi sir.
Hi, where do I see you? I can't see you. Where are you? Can somebody make Adya come into the spotlight? I can't see her. Where is Adya? There you go. So, ladies and gentlemen, Adya, so in today's time, India's #1 private university possibly is a university called Flame in Pune. Navya Seth got a full ride 100% scholarship. And do I say, am I proud? Because this year, out of the 10, 12 full rides that Flame gives, I have 4 students of mine who got a 100% scholarship from Flame University. And one is Adya there. Adya is again from Mumbai. Adya, just quickly from your experience, uh, what do you think when you filled the application form? And ladies and gentlemen, this is very important. When I'm going to talk to you about colleges and careers and admissions process, you will not understand anything if you do not know how the application form looks like. So let's hear from Adya. Adya, how was your application form looking like? Was it only one page asking you how much did you score, or did you have to put something else?
Absolutely not. So when I was filling out the Flame application form, the first thing they do ask for, obviously, are your past academic records. Your 10th board marks are very important. How you scored in 11th grade, your entrance exam scores. So if you've given the SAT or whether you've given the FEAT for Flame. So they do ask for those scores, but academics aside, they ask you to submit something called a statement of purpose. And they're going to ask you 3 questions, and you have to answer those 3 questions, which will completely reflect your personality. What are your approaches to these questions that they're asking you? And they want your opinion on things. So they're very, and so they're very persistent on wanting to know your perspective or your objective on these questions. And they really want to see what you are like as a person apart from the grades, because everyone can get a good score, everyone can get the cutoff that. So that's not really that's not a very important requirement anymore, I'd say. So you have to submit an SOP. You have to write an on the spot essay. So they'll give you a link and you have 20 minutes. They'll present the question to you on the spot, and you have to write an essay for about 200 words in those 20 minutes. And then you could submit a resume. It's optional, but it definitely helps. So if you have any internships, you can add them. If you have extracurriculars, singing competitions, acting competitions, debates, MUNs, anything that will push your profile and make it stand out, it's definitely recommended to add that as well. And yeah, I think that's about it. If you have any letter of recommendations, that is also recommended. It will definitely make your resume stand out. And so there are multiple things apart from your grades, which Flame asks you to submit. And yeah, that's about it.
That's amazing, Adya. Ladies and gentlemen, please understand, not just Flame. You look at any top-notch university in our country today, whether it's Flame, whether it's Ashoka, whether it's Symbiosis Professional University, all their application forms will have multiple essays, what Adya is calling as SOP or essay on the spot. And they will have spaces to fill your extracurricular activities. And that's where profile is important. And without profile in today's time, getting admission is not possible. Forget about scholarship. And Adya's profile was really strong. She was also an SAT kid. And thank you so much, Adya, for joining in. Let me quickly now take Shreya Rathod. Shreya, if you're there, last
Yes,
but
sir.
not the least, Shreya Rathod. Shreya,
Hello. Hi.
okay, awesome. Hi, how are you, beta? Shreya is joining again.
I am
And
good.
Shreya got another full ride from the university, 100% scholarship. Shreya, just tell me, how important were your extracurriculars, and did High School Mom Student Club help you?
High school moms, I would say, had is a very vital platform for high schoolers. First of all, to develop interpersonal skills beyond academics. There is a range of extracurricular activities such as volunteering, internships, clubs, workshops, etc. All those experiences foster personal growth and skill development in students. And it also instills a lot of qualities such as leadership, teamwork, social responsibilities, which are very vital attributes in today's dynamic world, I would say. And we all know that academic achievements, demonstrate the intellectual process, skills and dedication towards the school grades. But I think we all know that extracurriculars also help students to explore diverse interests and develop social skills. These experiences often shape the personal growth and resilience and adaptability in a student's life. So you're on mute.
Abhishek, you are on mute.
Thank you so much, Shreya. I think Mihika is taking a lot of lessons because she's a year junior to all of you. And you
Yeah.
guys are sitting on offer letters and she is looking at offer letters in this year. But last 2 minutes with Himani Kamdar. Himani is also now going to study at Flame. She's going to study psychology, I believe. Himani, thank you so much for joining in. Beta, how important, according to you, are extracurriculars in today's admissions process?
I think it's very important because it's something that differentiates you from the others. Like so many like students score above 90, but not everyone has such amazing extracurriculars. If a student, two students with 95 each, and what to differentiate them, who gets the acceptance letter? It depends on their extracurriculars. I did in MUN, I worked at Guide Council, and I've had so many experiences that differentiated me from others. I think it's extremely important.
Thank you so much, Beta. I'm really short on time, so I will have to let you guys go. But thank you so much for joining in. And ladies and gentlemen, if you can, just for the motivation of these 4 young kids in the chat, congratulate them for their amazing confidence of coming and talking in front of 1,000 people, for achieving and making their parents proud, for not just sitting on offer letters, but uh, sitting on finest of the offer letters. Look at that. That's for Adya, that's for Mihika, that's for Navya, that's for Shreya, and that's for Himani. 1,000 people are congratulating you and giving you best wishes. Go out there, claim your space in the world, and make us all proud. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, coming back to the presentation, and it's time that we should get into the career space as quickly as possible. So the world has changed, and the way you are supposed to look at careers is also supposed to change. Now, let me show you, according to World Economic Forum, and this data point is for developing countries like India, it is not for the rest of the world. There are broadly 5-6 parameters which will actually lead to how you look at work and how you should look at careers and how organizations will change over next 5 years. Now, I'm not going to get too much into detail of this data point right now because it might not be interesting for most of you. But what is important is just some of the news clippings that we saw in last couple of weeks in the newspapers. AI will replace millions of jobs by 2030. Developer, which is one of the leading magazines for computer science students, which is one of the leading magazines for software developers, says AI will replace human coders in next 5 years. It's already happening. NVIDIA, which is a big time, it's a multiple billion-dollar company. And NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang said, you do not need to learn Java or C++ anymore. AI will do the job for you. Forget about computer science. The New York Times very recently said, thinking about doing law, think again, AI is coming after you. Now, what I'm trying to say is, in such a juncture, let's go back how we look at careers. And this is where I'm going to ask all of you, all the parents, let's go back to our school days. If I say PCM, what comes to your mind as a career? Kids, in the chat, if I say PCM, what comes to your mind? Let's see. Engineering. Great. If I say PCB, what comes to your mind? PCB. Okay, everybody says doctor. If I say commerce, what comes to your mind? Let's see. Everybody would say CACS. If I say humanities, what comes to your mind? Some of you would say इनका कुछ नहीं हो सकता, but इनका बहुत कुछ हो सकता है. But what comes to your mind? Law, UPSC, that's it. अगर सारी दुनिया यही 4 जने बनेगी तो नौकरी कहां से मिलेगी? Do you realize that? I think all of you should actually become a career counselor, because without even me showing you the slides, where did my presentation go? Sorry, I'm just starting it. I messed up with my presentation software. So without me even showing you the slides, all of you actually told me about the careers you're thinking of for your children. ये 1990s था. It was very simple. It was linear. PCM, engineering, PCB, medicine, CACS, if it's commerce, very linear. I tried making a graph of the careers of today's time. I'm not a great artist. I always used to get an E. वो अलग बात है. I used to tell my mom E is for excellent in my art and design class. I was an outstanding student at the school. Just that my teachers always thought I'm better off standing outside the class. So they never invited me inside the class only. But if you look at pandemic over, ChatGPT days are here. If you're still thinking that things will change after 20 years, not now, you're badly mistaken. Things are changing as we are talking. Let me tell you, in last 1.5 years since the launch of ChatGPT, 7,000 coders have lost their jobs in India. Couple of thousand media graphic designers have lost their jobs. Lawyers are going for a toss, and it's all happening. So it's very important that you understand which way you want your child to go to and what career your child should pick. But this was linear. Let's look at some careers of today's time. This is today. समझ में आ जाए तो मुझे भी समझा देना. If you can understand, then explain it to me also. I have just taken 5-6 subjects which are leading to almost 12 to 15 careers. And a very interesting thing that you would see is none of the careers are any more dependent on one topic or one subject area. So when I used to do biology, I could only think of doing or becoming a doctor. But do you even know the highest paid career of biology is actually not a doctor? The highest paid career in biology is a career called bioinformatics. Unlike becoming a doctor, which takes 15 years, bioinformatics takes about 6 years. But bioinformatics is a combination of biology and computer science. Most of your schools will give you an option. You know, the biggest problem that happens when we look at careers is, as parents and as students, we often only focus on the main subjects. So if my main subjects are PCM, I have to do everything with PCM only, which is a wrong decision. Most schools, even before NEP is implemented, now this year onwards, NEP is getting implemented, so there will be no streams, it will be just subjects. If you are an international baccalaureate or IGCSE or A-levels kid, then you are already studying multiple subjects at the same time. But if you're a CBSE, HSC, or ICSC kid, then you are put into streams, but going forward, the streams will not be there. Now, If you stop being fixated on the main subjects and if you start playing with the optional subjects which your schools give, you will realize that your child will have 11 times more career options. No kidding. It's a research-driven fact. 11 times more. I'll give you a classic example and then we will go ahead. PCB can only take me to medicine was a traditional approach. Yeah, if your child really believes that your child should be a doctor, by all means, your child should go and do doctor, go and do medicine. But thinking that everybody will clear NEET, one video of mine got viral on my Instagram, High School Mom's Instagram handle. It just hit 1 million views in 1 week. It was NEET 25 lakh applications for 1,37,000 seats. Everybody is not making it. Everybody is not making it. But imagine the moment you would have combined PCB with psychology, you have no clue your child could have gone into such amazing careers. Similarly, if PCM students, instead of being in the rat race of engineering, would have combined economics with PCM, then maths plus economics takes you to some of the most amazing careers in the world and some of the most highest paid careers in the world. So what I'm trying to say is, majority of the careers of the future, if you look at it, are combination of more than one subject. And this, I'm not talking as a counselor, I'm talking as a father. Now imagine my son is a coder, he's a guitarist, he's a drummer, he's a debater. So should I tell him to go into international relations because he's a debater? Or should I tell him to go into software programming because he's a coder? Why can't I tell him to do both international relations and computer science at the same time and go into something called foreign trade analytics? Why can't I do that? The careers exist. Programs exist. Universities exist. So if you look at careers today, for example, let's say somebody has taken PCB with psychology. You could have gone and become a doctor, but chances are what? 0.01%. 25 lakh applications, 1,37,000 seats. Do you know, very often we ask our children to take a dummy school, which is one of the most ridiculous things as a parent we can do. Dummy school is a bad decision for your child. Do you even know? Statistics are still the same. Even when you take a drop year or you take a dummy school, your chances of clearing IIT and NEET is still the same. By putting your child into a dummy school, you're making your child more introvert. Understand this. The worst of the students of your class are more successful than you are as parents. And the best students of your class are less successful than you are. It was not always about academics. हम सलाह भी वो देना चाह रहे हैं बच्चों को जो हमारे लिए ही काम नहीं आई. Understand that. So the futuristic careers are a combination of more than one subject. And that's why you need to look at institutions where there is a major minor combination possible. Example, chemistry major, psychology minor. The career is forensic psychology, one of the highest paid careers in psychology. Biology major, psychology minor, clinical psychology. Marketing major, psychology minor, consumer behavior. Computers major, physics minor, computational physics. Maths major, applied computer science, or computer science with applied mathematics, computational mathematics. Commerce students can do commerce with maths and add Python to it, and they will go into a career called business intelligence. Biology students instead of thinking of doing medicine, can go into a career called microbiology, bacteriology, virology, toxicology, pharmacology, or bioinformatics. Most of these careers are possible in 6 years. 6 instead of 15. Instead of 15. मैं एक पेरेंट और चाहिए जो मेरे साथ थोड़ा सा स्पोर्टी हो सके. गौरी मैम, will you be ready to come onto the mic? Can you unmute yourself? Miss Ahuja, where are you from?
I'm from Delhi.
You're from Delhi.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do simple calculation, ma'am. And my maths is bad, so I'm using you as a prop to help me with mathematics.
My
Okay?
math is also bad. Yeah,
I'm sure
you can ask.
I'm sure you'll be able to do this one, ma'am.
Yeah, sure.
25 lakh applications, 1,37,000 seats. Everybody is not making it in the first year. Let's assume all the students in this room are super intelligent. They are able to make it after 1 year of drop. 1 year of drop, 5.5 years of MBBS. What is the total, ma'am?
6 years.
6.5 years. Aapka
6
maths
and
to
a
sahi mein kha. Okay. Now, you are still not getting your degree because you have to do an internship in a government hospital to get your degree.
Right.
So 1 year of internship in a government hospital. What is the total, ma'am?
7.5.
Last time when you had a normal flu or a cough or a cold, the doctor did you go to was only an MBBS or had more qualifications, ma'am?
Obviously, I always prefer to visit a MD or like the doctor who is specialized in either in medicine or like obviously I'm not going to visit only MBBS doctor.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Which means
Yeah.
a bare minimum of MD or MS is required. 2 years of preparation to crack any MD MS program. What is the total, ma'am, now?
Sorry, 2 years. So it's 9.5.
9.5. 2 years for MD and 3 years for MS. Let's take 3 years for MS. 9.5 and 3 is 12.5.
12.5.
And bare minimum 2 to 3 years under a good doctor in a good hospital before your and my child will start earning. 15.5 years. Thank you so much, Ms. Ahuja. Now, in such a scenario, if we want everybody to become a doctor, are we actually being a well-wisher of our child? So if you actually see the screen, there are multiple career options, both in sciences, medical, non-medical, commerce, and humanities that you can actually focus on. But मैं क्या करूंगा? मैं आपको कुछ ऐसे careers बताता हूं इस पूरी भीड़ में से जिस पे आपको focus करना चाहिए, and that's where your research should start from. While you can take a screenshot of this slide, the slide looks like a little kiddish simply because it was made for my son, and these are the careers me and Shivansh are researching on. But I will now go to careers, and one by one we will first talk about careers in sciences, commerce, and humanities. And I will only give you 4 top careers that you should be researching about, because we do not have time to research about everything. And after that, we will go into what are the right entrances, how do you select the right university, how do you apply for the best of the scholarships in India and outside India. While the session is not about just India and outside India, it is about both. But let me tell you, if Abhishek Gupta, coming from a very poor family, can go abroad and study, if 4 of the students who came in the 10 minutes back can get full ride scholarships, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 scholarships are very much possible, and our children does not need to be a God's gift to mankind to get scholarships. It's a science, it's a plan, you follow it, your child will get scholarships. So I'll talk about that as well. It's a science. Just give me, I've been talking for almost 1.5 hours. Give me 5 minutes. I hope none of you will drop out. There is a lot to cover. Give me 5 minutes, and then I will also have a very dear friend, the Director of Admissions of India's #1 university in today's time, Flame University, joining us for just 3 questions that I'm going to ask her so that you can then plan your journey to that kind of an institution. We're talking about Flame University. thousands and thousands and thousands of applications for 550 seats, ladies and gentlemen, in Flame. Ms. Anju Deoskar, a dear friend, will also be joining in very soon. Give me a 5-minute break. Sorry?
She has already joined.
Anju is already there? Okay, let's first take Anju and then I'll take a 5-minute break. I do not want Anju to wait. Hey, Anju.
No. I can absolutely wait, please, Abhishek, if that's what the audience also need. Huh?
ना मुन्ना ना अंजू मेरे को पुणे में आकर के फ्लेम का टूर लेना है. I am not making you wait. All right, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce Miss Anju Deoskar, Director of Undergrad Admissions at Flame University, possibly India's #1 university. Forget about private, not so private. It is India's #1 university in today's time. I have had the honor and privilege of visiting her campus, speaking to students. My own students are studying there. 4 of my students this year got a full ride, and Anju can tell you that she was not even aware, because she is not involved into day-to-day admissions processes, that they were high school moms, student club students. Somebody who is respected around the world, not just in our country, for her thoughts on liberal education. Somebody who comes across very approachable. And like I said, somebody I look up to when I am in doubt, and I'm not saying just doubt professionally, when I'm in doubt personally, that's Anju Deoskar, whom I reach out to. Thank you so much, Anju Deoskar, for joining in today.
Thank you so much, Abhishek.
Okay, Anju, I have quick 3 questions for you. Number 1, the job market is evolving rapidly. New technologies, broad-based education, it's confusing for students, right? So how can students choose a particular education which not only gives them and prepares them for multiple careers? Make example deta hu, Anju, for parents to understand. A particular program called data science. People think that data science is a career. Yes, it is a career, but do you know data science leads to multiple careers? I'll give you a small example. When you use data science with biology, you go into bioinformatics or medical analytics. And the same data science degree, when is used in finance, you go into financial analytics. And the same data science degree, when is used in the world of business, it becomes business intelligence. Now, there are universities like Flame, but my question to you is, where at Flame people can study what they want to study, but how can a broad-based education help students, Anju?
Sure. So thank you so much. It's a very good question for the parents to understand, because like Abhishek said, even I'm a parent. My children are older than Abhishek's. They've graduated and they're into their own professional lives. And it is easy to know something for the world, and it's very challenging for a parent when it applies to your own, okay, because we're emotionally invested in our own families. But that's where experts like us, who do not have any personal gains with you guys, come into play, where we can just project our views. So talking about broad-based education, I think number 1, it exposes students to diverse subjects and skills. Now let's look at all the boards: national curriculum, CBSE, ICSE, state board, international curriculum, IB, Cambridge, and AP, and a few others. When you're looking at these courses, these boards all across, you are exposed to only the disciplines which the school has chosen to deliver in their school. By the way, the board offers maybe hundreds of subjects. The school chooses to give 15 to the audience based on the requirement of the students or the demand by the students. And these schools and universities are a reflection of what is happening in the society. If suddenly their university is offering data science because industry is demanding for data science, just one example. So broad-based education at a higher level. Let's look at school as maybe your kindergarten before you stepped into your main school, right? In your grade 1, 2. Let's look at the school education, again looking at it as a kindergarten, that okay, now we are entering into another level. So when you come to higher education, if you've not been exposed, and if you make your choices as narrow as what you've already experienced, you are missing so much that you have no idea. And don't worry, your children will still, face it, but not through a university maybe, but after getting into an industry, when they actually feel that the world is doing. And today, like they say, you don't have to go to a university or a school to learn. There's so much information. So basically, broad-based education in a very planned way is allowing students to understand diverse subjects and skills. It's helping them to discover their passions. Now, passion is a very overrated word that is used. I'm not a big fan of it, but any which ways, a lot of people love to hear these. So they at least come closer to what they might like. More importantly, they'll find their strength, because if they've not explored, how do they know that this is a talent that they have in them while they're still in a university? And these places must be treated like a laboratory, where you maybe do same experiment 10 times, and the 11th time you get the right result, but you fail 10 times, right? And how interesting is that journey? So in the university, when you're looking at a place which is giving you an offering to explore so much before you actually put your finger on what you want to learn, I think that is a major contribution of broad-based education. It gives you strength.
Education.
By exploring these disciplines, students can identify what resonates with them, maybe fostering deeper understanding of their interest and potential career path. This interdisciplinary education approach, or it basically cultivates also, I think, a critical thinking, adaptability, because I may like this subject, is maybe the first time I'm trying. You automatically start learning to solve problems, which are invaluable, I think, skills in navigating, I think, rapidly into the job market, which is evolving so fast. So, long story short, please do not dive deep at just when they're 18. Please, they have a long life to live. At 18, they're supposed to be exploring. So yeah, that's
Exactly. And that's very important, Anju, for people to understand. And I was talking before you came in that 99% of the careers of the future are interdisciplinary.
yeah.
And if we still think about majoring only in one subject, eventually our children will struggle. So that's very important. I'm so sorry, Anju, I'm short on time. I have two more questions to cover with you.
Please, we'll do it fast. Yeah.
The second question is, every time I tell people that SAT is accepted in India, they look at me with a question mark. Here are 4 of my students who got into Flame without writing Flame's entrance. Not just got into Flame, got full scholarship from Flame.
Yes.
From your mouth, if somebody has scored decent on SAT, do they require to write your entrance? Yes or no?
Not at all. Not at all. So even our aptitude test, we've also drawn from the SAT, likes of the SATs. So it just becomes very convenient for a student to just write one exam and apply at multiple places rather than taking individual exams. So yes, it definitely helps students. If they have a good SAT scores, you just skip all the other parts and just maybe come directly to an essay writing and interview for selection process at Flame.
You skip multiple levels and you straight away come for the essay writing and interview.
Yes.
If you had taken the SAT. Anju, one last question. Ladies and gentlemen, possibly Flame has one of the most beautiful campuses I've seen in the world. Forget about India. Right in the valley. I still remember a couple of months back, she invited me as a guest speaker at Flame. Anju, a world-class sports facility, theater, gym, people involved into community service, students volunteering, helping the planet, helping the people. Why so much of focus in Flame on things outside the classroom also? Why? And why in a very simple language, so that parents understand that life में success is not dependent on just a degree. So I want to hear that perspective from you.
So you've been talking about broad-based learning. Let's not finish thinking about broad-based learning just into your classroom, please. Parents, students, they understand it very well because they feel that they should be experiencing this. at the university and very boldly say about Flame University, maybe 40% of your time and focus of learning is in your classroom learning, and the rest of it is outside. If you all follow our social medias or the website, you'll see that we are invested so much closer with the real industry. That's also learning when these people come into the campus. Besides that, your sports facilities, I know of a student who was doing communication studies as major and psychology as a minor. Thorough, I mean, very good footballer. He's getting into a career with football, and he says that communication and psychology helped him so beautifully. And what was the football thing? It was just a club. It was outside of the classroom. So we say that the university is a huge treasure. Please exploit when you, and this is for the students, whichever university, because I believe every university has so much to give. Please go with the mindset to really exploit every single opportunity. Don't think that you just have to study one major, one minor, and get a degree. If you're doing that, you might as well not go to a university. That's how
Thank
important
you
it
so much,
is.
Anju
Yeah.
Deoskar, for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, if all of you can thank Anju for joining us on a Sunday and sharing her viewpoints. Before Anju goes, I want to tell you, Flame has a great opportunity where high school students can actually experience a university level classes, can experience living on the campus, can experience diving into multiple subjects and finding out which is that subject that they are interested, because being interested in economics in school is very different than studying economics at college. So
Absolutely.
Flame has a beautiful summer program. Very proud to say this year my son is joining in Flame summer program. It happens twice in summers. I will be sharing the link to the summer program. It is very selective. You have to write an essay. Not everybody gets selected. Like Flame is a very selective institution with a very low acceptance rate. They don't reject, but they accept students who are interesting, not exceptional. They accept students who are interesting, and we often feel that you have to be an exceptional student to get into a selective institution. Absolutely incorrect. You have to be an interesting student to get into in a great institution. So please go ahead and research more about Flame's summer immersion program, and I will be sharing, and my team will be sharing the link here. Yes, it's pretty selective, but Anju, if you want to say 2 lines, only 30 seconds.
So I have shared a link of our, university video. I've shared with Avni. I'll request Avni to share it in the chat. Whenever you have time, just have a look. It gives you the whole ambience of what the university is like, and that's just a tip of the iceberg. We are a lot more than that. Thank you, everyone, for hearing me. Thank you, Abhishek, for
Thank you
having
so much, Anju Deoskar. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Anju Deoskar. Bye. That was Anju Deoskar, Director of Admissions at Flame University, Pune, India's #1 university in today's time. She was very interestingly talking about a student who had interest in football and studied psychology. That makes me come to a very interesting career in sports because of IPL, KPL, Kabaddi League, and so many others. The careers in sports have gone spiral, even in our own country. And there are a couple of careers you should write it down if your child is interested in sports. One is called sports psychology, and the other is called sports analytics. These are two careers. One is with sports and psychology, and the other is with sports and computer science. Sports psychology and sports analytics. You must research if your child is a pretty sporty person. Very, very interesting careers, very high paying. Now, the next up is careers, 4 top careers according to us, the career counselors for PCM, PCB, commerce, and humanities. Before we jump into how do you actually select the right university for your child and which are the right programs, taking a quick 5-minute break, have been speaking for 1.5 hours. If you all permit me, just say a yes in the chat if I can take your leave for 5 minutes so that I can give some rest to my throat. Else, by evening, I'll not be able to talk to my own son. Thank you. All right, giving everybody a heads up, we will start in 2 minutes exactly. So if you are back on the screens, it'll really, really help. Two minutes, we will start. We have a lot to cover. Thank you so much for being patient and listening. Now we will cover some careers. Then we will cover how do you select the right institutions. We will also cover scholarships. How do you apply? How the admissions processes have changed. So all that is still pending. And we will also possibly talk about design careers. I have been told that there are some queries around design. So I have immediately asked my friend, who's the admissions officer of one of the leading design schools in the world called School of Visual Arts, New York, to join in. I have just sent her a message and she has confirmed. So we will possibly make her also answer a couple of questions on how do you get into futuristic careers related to design. But may I request all of you to start your cameras once again, please. It's very, very humbling for me to see parents on the camera. Thank you so much, Renuka ji, Shweta ji. Somebody is joining from Krishak Goradia. So Mrs. Goradia, thank you so much. Mrs. Sangvi, Mrs. Kulbani, thank you so much. Ms. Kanchan, Mr. Vinod, Mr. Vipul, thank you so much. As parents, you are leading by example. Thank you so very much. Let's quickly share my screen and we start. So समझने वाली चीज ये है that 99% careers of the future do not require our children to be an engineer or a doctor. While if your child is preparing for IIT and you feel that your child should be able to get into IIT, my best wishes. If your child is looking at becoming a doctor and if you think your child will clear NEET, my best wishes. But unfortunately, I have seen years after years, thousands and thousands of dreams getting shattered because of that fixated approach of doing only engineering and medicine and a CSES. And without realizing that these are not just the 4 careers that today we have in the world. I will also go to the extent of saying, you might be thinking about a traditional career, but that also you need to think with a futuristic lens. For example, a humanities student will always think about law, but understand law is very easily getting replaced with AI. Lawyers are getting replaced with AI. But there are 3 fields of law which the law is there, but the lawyers are not there, which is where the demand is. हमेशा याद रखिए, वर्ल्ड में हर चीज डिमांड सप्लाई पे चलती है. Everything revolves around demand and supply. And if you are able to find out that career for your child where there is too much of demand and less supply, you've done your job. So even in law, there are 3 careers that I can suggest you. One is called the intellectual property rights law, because every day there is a fight on trademark, patents, copyrights. And that's the new gold for corporate world. The second is cyber law or cyber security law. The law is there, but the lawyers are not there because the law is still evolving. And the third is called data privacy law. All of us very conveniently keep on giving our data at 200 different places without realizing that that's also another career of law. And possibly the fourth one is called criminology, which is a combination of criminal justice and law, which is also a very in-demand career. But PCM careers other than engineering, these are my top 4. So if my son would have said, I want to get into PCM, I would have said, ये 4 और इसके अलावा कुछ नहीं. Data science, astrophysics and space sciences, computational mathematics, and artificial intelligence. These are my top 4 for all the students who are extremely interested in PCM. Now, some of these students who are interested in PCM might be good with maths, might be good with physics, but they are not so good with chemistry. They will never be able to become a great engineer. They will never be able to crack a great engineering college. Then why are we pushing them towards it? It's better to be a great data scientist than being a bad engineer. Understand this. It's better to be a great data scientist than being a bad engineer. Most of the time, for the students who I counsel about 1,200 kids personally. That's my bread and butter since the time I left the corporate world. Every year, individual counseling. And most of the parents come and they start with the question, which are the careers which have high potential? And I always say any career, as long as you are among the top 1% in it. Simple. In your cities, is every halwai making the same amount of money? Or is there one halwai which sells the most? In your city, is every doctor successful? No. So if you actually see, a kid might be good with physics and mathematics. There is a career called computational physics. If a kid is good with physics and mathematics, a big time career for the future is astrophysics and space sciences. A big time. There was a time only governments were in space sciences. Today, private companies are there. You only know of one or two companies like SpaceX. But do you know there are hundreds and hundreds of companies working towards space sciences, software development, satellite programming in India alone? Data science. My son is good in mathematics, hates physics, hates chemistry, but wants to do PCM in school. Can he ever become a great engineer? No. But a mathematics student can actually go into data science and do it really, really, really well. Because data science is nothing but maths and statistics. And that's why it is one career where commerce students can also go and PCM students can also go. As long as you have eco plus maths, you can go into data science, eco plus Python. You can go into data science. You have maths and Python. You can go into data science. Computational mathematics. Now, this is where I want your 30 seconds. Understand, if I tell you one degree which can give your child 15 plus jobs, one degree. That's a degree called computational mathematics. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's a degree in applied mathematics and computer science. And now count. You can become a risk management analyst. You can become a data scientist. You can work into space sciences because that's nothing but computers and maths. You can get into financial markets and stock markets. That's nothing but computers and maths. And you would realize one degree will open 15 to 20 career opportunities for you had you actually thought about it. AI, as much as we say that anybody who gets into AI has to know computer science, reality check. Artificial intelligence is nothing but a computer's ability to understand human behavior. Now, my question, and to all of you, and let's see in the chat, who is that individual who understands human behavior the best? Which professional? A psychologist. Now understand, AI has two different kinds of roadmap. One is called the AI, which is driven by machine learning and software. So if your child is a machine learning expert, he can become an AI programmer or an AI scientist. But do you know that the best of the AI specialists under which AI developers work, they are not computer engineers, they are psychologists with computer knowledge. So if you look at PCM and you can combine it with eco or maths or computer science, you will be able to make your child go into one of these top 4 careers, which are actually the careers of today and for next 30 years. And these are what will make your child 10 times more successful than a purely simple engineering degree. Space sciences. Do you know today India and outside India has bachelor's program in astrophysics, a BSc in astrophysics. There are bachelor's program in computational mathematics, which can also lead to space sciences. But space sciences, you have to understand, you have to do your master's bare minimum. Because space science is an area of research. And if you haven't done your master's, you will not be a very research-oriented person. Somebody is asking me future prospects of aviation, future prospects of architecture in the chat. I'll quickly take it for 2 minutes. Architecture is a good career. Just remember that I am talking about that everybody will not be an engineer or an architect. Aviation is also a great career. You can become a pilot, but before deciding to become a pilot, get your complete medical health checkup done. I have seen a lot of students, after thinking about being a pilot for years, and their eyesight, when checked, had a little bit of color blindness because of watching mobile in dark. So your dream will come down crashing. Design careers will come later. Now, just to give you an idea, there are enough colleges in the country today, starting from private universities like Flame, which has a BSc honors in data science, to Narsi Monji, to Christ, to government institutions like Chennai Mathematical Institution or Indian Institute of Sciences, to Symbiosis. All of them have started a bachelor's program in data science. So that's a career that you must be thinking about. Space sciences, like I said, you can do bachelor's in astrophysics and master's in astrophysics. Ideally, I always suggest space sciences is a career where you should consider about going abroad and studying than just studying in India. And that's why if you look at any of the leading universities in the world, whether it is Harvard, Stanford, Carnegie Mellon, Georgia Tech, MIT, Caltech, UC Berkeley, UCLA, UC San Diego. Yesterday, we had 2 admits from UC San Diego. We have 1 admit from London School of Economics coming in last week. All of them have bachelor's program in space sciences or astrophysics. Computational mathematics, like I said, a magical degree to get into multiple job opportunities, from finance to stock markets to space sciences to risk management to insurance analytics, you name it. PCB careers. My top 4 PCB careers for those who do not want to become a doctor or those who think will not be able to clear NEET. Bioinformatics, biology plus computer science. There are bachelor's program available in India and outside India. Microbiology, which is bachelor's in microbiology or bachelor's in biology with a master's in microbiology. Let me tell you, even today, a lot of people come and ask me, but does microbiology has scope in India? Are you kidding me? You are talking about 1990s when it had no scope in India. We are in 2024, ladies and gentlemen, and that too after pandemic. Careers like bacteriology and virology, and 2 more careers I'll give you, pharmacology and toxicology. कितना दवाई डालें that toxic impact nahi ho. How much of vaccine, COVID vaccine should go that it does not cause a toxic reaction. That's called toxicology. These 4 careers are offshoots of microbiology. And last 3 years, $4 billion have gone into these 4 careers. $4 billion. If you're my child, can only tap into 0.000000001% of this, our children will be multi-millionaire in dollars. Forensic sciences, another very upcoming and booming field. Forensic scientists are required by statutory organizations, government bodies, hospitals, clinics because they face accidental victims. They face victims with crime. Sustainability. एक टाइम था हम बच्चों को एनवायरमेंटल साइंस दिलाते थे ये सोच करके कि और कहीं नंबर नहीं आएगा तो इसमें आ जाएगा. Do you know, a research on India says the last biggest opportunity that hit the mankind was internet. Flipkart, Amazon, Twitter, Zoom. The internet economy today is a $5 trillion economy in the world. And do you know the next biggest opportunity that will hit mankind? That's called sustainability and environmental sciences. Pick up any big company in the world. My own friend, I call him my chuddy buddy, Saurabh Gosai. He's a CIO with Barclays, CIO of sustainability. And I can tell you that every company, whether it is bank, educational institution, hospitals, hotels, Reliance, Airtel, Google, Facebook, Meta, pick up any company. Their website says we want to become carbon neutral by 2040. Sustainability and environmental science is the career where your child should really research about if they want to become rich, successful, and both. Commerce. Other than CSCS, the 4 careers that I like for commerce students with mathematics. Now, another question that comes is, sir, I do not have maths, but I have commerce. Can I get into data science? Maybe some university might give you admission, but you will never be a successful data scientist. Please accept it. There is no data science possible, no business analytics intelligence possible, no financial analytics or risk management possible without mathematics. Rather, for those of you who are already in grade 11 and 12 have not taken mathematics, I will try and help you in my upcoming slide what you can do. But for those of you where parents still have an option of keeping maths, हाथ जोड़ के request है, maths मत छुड़वाइए. And that's a career counselor speaking, but that's also a father speaking. The number of career opportunities come down by 90%. But that's also not important. What is important is there is no college in the world today which does not require an entrance test. And there is no entrance test in the world which does not have a maths or quant section. एक बार छूटी तो छूटी जाएगी. I really like नमन कसात को उसकी मम्मी बोल रही हैं, देखो सुना. मैम आप थोड़ा सा स्क्रीन में आ जाइए वरना मुझे ऐसा लगेगा मैं ऐसे दिखूंगा आप दिख जाओगे. I really like parents sitting with their children. That's really important. So commerce, business intelligence, this is nothing but business plus data science. Actuarial science, which is nothing but economics and mathematics. To get into actuarial science, you need to do your bachelor's in eco with a minor in maths or applied mathematics. You need to do your master's in actuaries, and you need to take a certificate of actuarial science for an Indian Institute of Actuarial Scientists. Actuarial science is one of the highest paid careers in the world. Actually, the highest paid career in the world. Risk management is nothing but finance plus mathematics. Basically, risk managers are those who help companies to avoid technological risk, environment risk, business risks, and other corporate risks. Behavioral finance, one of the highest paid careers of commerce, but is not a career of commerce. It's a career where finance and psychology meet. So to get into behavioral science, behavioral finance, you need to do your majors in finance and minors in psychology. So majors in business management with finance specialization and minor in psychology. Without maths, like I said, please do not think of any analytics career. If you do not have maths, you will struggle. But 4 careers that you can look at if you are a commerce student without maths: media and communications, digital marketing, a big time career for the future. It's not social media marketing alone. I'm talking about digital marketing. They are bachelor's program in marketing with a super specialization in media, in digital marketing. Human resources or organizational development. So you can go for a BBA in human resources, or you can do your bachelor's in foreign trade or bachelor's on business administration in foreign trade. Humanities. एक टाइम था बोला जाता था कि ह्यूमैनिटीज के बच्चे कुछ नहीं कर सकते. Let me tell you, majority of the careers of the future are actually based on commerce and humanities, not based on sciences. Majority careers. Time has turned. Psychology, if I ask you in the chat, what career comes to your mind when you think of psychology? Please give it to me in the chat. If you actually see, everybody is saying counselor, psychologist, therapist. Let's do a deep dive. I just told you finance plus psychology is behavioral finance. Computer science plus psychology is artificial intelligence. Marketing plus psychology is consumer behavior. Economics plus psychology is behavioral economics. Psychology in itself is a great field for the future. Generally, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूं, धीरे धीरे हम सब पागल हो रहे हैं. I mean, imagine करिए, husband wife sitting on the same couch and wishing happy anniversary to each other on Facebook. अब इसको पागलपन नहीं बोलेंगे तो क्या बोलेंगे? A father and mother, both working, spend 7 days a week, 365 days a year, so that they can fulfill the needs of their child. But they have not spent 7 hours with a good counselor planning the child's career. So basically, we are doing everything blind. I want my child to get into one of the highest selective university like Harvard or Stanford or Flame in India, where the acceptance ratio, like I said, Flame acceptance ratio is sub 5%. Harvard is sub 3%, 4%. I want my child to get admissions there, but I've never opened their form and saw what do they require. अब इसको पागलपन नहीं बोलेंगे तो क्या बोलेंगे? इच्छा है, but प्लान नहीं है. मैंने एक कविता लिखी थी, उस कविता की 2 पंक्तियां सुनाता हूं आपको, बीच बीच में सुनाता रहूंगा. बच्चों के लिए भी है और पेरेंट्स के लिए भी है. सपनों का कोई दोष नहीं है, सपनों का कोई दोष नहीं है, सपनों को बुलंद तू कर. सपनों का कोई दोष नहीं है, सपनों को बुलंद तू कर. चिंता मत कर, चिंतन कर तू, कल को अपने वश में कर. Worrying won't help, planning will. Another problem we as parents face is हमें इंफॉर्मेशन तो बहुत चाहिए बट एक्शन नहीं लेना है. कल देखेंगे, परसों देखेंगे. अच्छा, अभिषेक ने एसएटी के बारे में बोला है, बट अगले साल देख लेंगे. That's called too much of analysis leads to paralysis. तो उस पे 2 पंक्तियां बोलता हूं. मिलेगी मंजिल चलने पर ही, मिलेगी मंजिल चलने पर ही, चलित कभी ना अटका है. मिलेगी मंजिल चलने पर ही, चलित कभी ना अटका है. दुबक के बैठा घर के अंदर, वो इंसान ही भटका है. Anyways, so psychology is a big time field for the future. Lot of universities from Ferguson College in Pune, known for psychology, to Flame University in Pune, to colleges in India, to colleges outside India. Combine it. If you think You do not want your child to be a counselor. वैसे मैं आपको बता दूं, being a UCLA alum, I chose to become a career counselor for my son, but it damn gives me good money. In a country of 1.5 billion, there are not even 500 good counselors that you can count on your hand. And you still wanted your child to become an engineer or a doctor. I don't know of many doctors who will be able to pull off 1,000 people in the Zoom room with 4 hours of people listening. Ladies and gentlemen, start thinking. तो साइकोलॉजी, अगर आपको अपने बच्चे को काउंसलर नहीं बनाना है, थेरेपिस्ट नहीं बनाना है, साइकोलॉजिस्ट नहीं बनाना है, pick psychology as a major or a minor along with another subject and you will see careers improving. International relations, there are multiple fields in international relations, few which would require you to have foreign language qualification, few which will not. There are careers related to international relations law. There are careers in geopolitics. There are careers in corporate international relations. And there are careers in analytics. Media and communication. Please understand, I am not saying mass communication and journalism. I am saying media and communications. So do not get confused between the two. These are two different fields altogether. A media and communication person can work into corporate communication, public relations, can work in the social media departments. Every small company to every influencer, everybody has a social media team today. Every large corporate has a social media marketing team today. And law, like I said, while you're thinking of law, then also I give you 4 opportunities: intellectual property rights law, cyber security law, data privacy law, and criminology. In 4 के अलावा, please avoid thinking of corporate law or mercantile law. They are the first ones to be replaced by AI. अब आ जाते हैं यूनिवर्सिटी सिलेक्शन पे. वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. मुझे पता है आप लोगों के बहुतों के करियर रिलेटेड क्वेरीज बाकी हैं. आई विल टेक इट. Like I said, in a session of 1,000 people, I cannot answer specific questions till the time we are into the question and answer round. While I know the session is supposed to get over at 3 o'clock, I'm happy to stretch it by half an hour. If your questions are there, I promise I will answer. Please understand, universities, admissions processes inside India and outside India has changed today. So anybody who has a child in grade 12 right now, grade 12, okay. So Gurvinder ji, Riya.
Abhishek, I just have a question in this. Are you talking about the ones who are graduating or the ones who have entered grade 12 just now?
And entered grade 12. Entered grade 12. Okay, please lower your hands. Too much for me to see. You can give your answers in the chat. Please lower your hands. My request is please lower your hands. Thank you. Thank you. Please lower your hands because my screen gets cluttered with it and I'm unable to see my own presentation. Thank you. Now imagine if your child has entered grade 12 and you are thinking there is still 1 year. Wake up. The applications in India and outside India will go in August/September of this year. You have April, May, June, July. And I'll prove it to you on the screen. You have April, May, June, July. And college applications will start going in India and outside India. Admissions processes have completely changed. No more you need class 12th board results to get admissions. Forget about private universities. Even government universities now take CUET. Class 12th board results are not required. Application forms for India and outside India both Please don't say that I'm talking only about India, because I know there are people who want to know about abroad. Please don't say I'm only talking about abroad, because I know people who only want to do in India. Admissions processes around the country around the world is same now, post pandemic. और ये प्रोसेस क्यों चेंज किया गया वो जानना जरूरी है. So let's go there first and we'll come back. Okay, no, I can't see my slide on NEP. But anyways, I'll try and explain it to you guys. So we all know that years after years, only the students who got into SRCCs or the best universities were the ones who got a 99%. At 98%, you did not even qualify for the third list. But world is full of people in your company and my company who scored really well but are not successful. New education policy plans to solve all this problem, and it is already applicable. And according to NEP, every single institution in this country will have to be liberal, which means they have to give a major minor combination. Plus, they cannot give admissions on the basis of only grade 12 marks. Their admissions process has to be holistic. That's why all the kids that came in the morning, you saw, they were talking about profile, and more profile. Today, if your child is in grade 12, the applications will go this year, August, September. If your child is in grade 11, please write it down. The applications will go in August, September of 2025. If your child is in grade 10, this year, entering grade 10, the applications will go in August, September of 2026. They only have 3 to 4 months of grade 12. And the offer letters will start coming as early as December. Especially if you're wanting to apply to the best of the universities in India like Flame, Ashoka, Plaksha, Kriya, OP Jindal School of Liberal Arts or Symbiosis School of Liberal Arts. And when you file the application, you will have two options. Either you would have given the SAT or you would say, I have not. If you have given the SAT, you will avoid all their entrances and straight away sit in the interview. And I'm talking about India too. Else, you will have to write their entrance, clear it. God forbids if it goes wrong that day, you're out of the race. एक और चीज समझाता हूं बच्चों को. बच्चों, you do not have to be successful with a lot of difficulty. You will become successful with planning, and planning will reduce difficulty. समझना इस चीज को. So before understanding what are universities looking at and how do you choose universities, it is important to understand, before understanding how your child will get admission and why admissions processes have changed, it is important to understand what are universities looking at. Let's understand from their admission forms of this year. आप लोग चाहते हैं आपके बच्चे अच्छे कॉलेजेस में जाएं, बट आपने कभी एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म खोल के नहीं देखा. तो मैंने सोचा ये काम मैं ही कर देता हूं आप लोगों के लिए. दिखाऊं तो सही कि एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म मांगता क्या. That's plain. A 6-page form has only one field for school marks. Rest everything else is about extracurriculars. They are asking about your achievements, awards, honors, scholarships in sports, extracurriculars, and more. And like Himani said and Adya said, they had to write multiple essays. You might think that you can use ChatGPT to write the essay. Boys and girls, wake up. They will also take an interview and they can make out if the essay was written by ChatGPT. There are softwares to tell you that. So don't think you can fool an admissions process executive who gets crores of rupees only to identify. You know, people often say we don't know, we don't want our child to go into this university and that university. Then the question comes, is BA more valuable or BSc? Or the question comes, private university or government university? ये सब questions ना 1990s में ठीक थे. These all questions do not carry any importance in today's time, because there is a BA program in data science, there is a BCom program in data science, and there is a BSc program in data science. And it's the same program. It's like changing of terminologies. You go to one doctor, जैसे मैं कल गया, I have fever and bad throat. So मेरे डॉक्टर ने लिखा पैरासिप. घर में मेरे पास क्रोसिन पड़ा था, मैंने खा लिया. The fact remains it is still paracetamol. The brand changes. So that's flame extracurriculars. And if you actually see, before this page, they also had the SAT score mentioning page. That's again among the top 2 universities in the country today, Ashoka. Non-academic activities and engagement. Please mention your non-academic activities, write descriptions, write essays. Chaliye, India. Describe a social issue that has a local or global impact that concerns you. Write a 400-word essay. If you haven't participated in anything, what will you write? Most often, what do parents do? बेटा एनजीओ कर लेते हैं, 1100 रुपए देकर के एक सर्टिफिकेट ले आते हैं. You're the worst well-wisher of your child. Worst. You did 2 classic mistakes. One, you thought that the universities don't throw these kind of NGO certificates in the dustbin. The first thing they do is throw them into the dustbin. And second, you taught your child how to lie and take the shortcuts. And that, as parents, we should do. Common App, United States of America. One application that goes to thousands of colleges and universities in US. 7 essays, none of them are about, and this is this year. All these essays change every year. 7 essays, and none of them is about academics. None. Rather, very interesting essays. The lessons we take from obstacles we encounter can be fundamental for later success. Give us a situation when you faced a challenge, setback, or failure. You think only toppers get into these universities? They are looking at failure stories because they know failures teach you more than success. I'm again telling you, today is that one beautiful time that if your child is an average student like me, then start calling your child awesome instead of average. Because now admissions do not happen for students who mug up and get marks. Admissions happen on a well-rounded profile. There are people who are asking me, does UK require SAT? Please open the form. There is a form called UCAS. You can only apply to 5 universities through that form. Second page, there is a space to mention SAT score. Do you think you can get into the top 5 universities in UK by keeping that form blank? Stanford, 8 essay prompts, and they have to be written in 50 words. I'm telling you, writing 500 is easy. 50 is difficult. Do you know, most of you are thinking, oh, we cannot afford Harvard and Stanford. Do you know Harvard has a rule which is called no child left behind? If your child is selected in Harvard, they will ask you for your bank account statements and income tax records. Yes, a warning for all business owners whose income tax records are not true. They have auditors. They will look at your records and then they will decide the fees. So somebody could be studying at 100% scholarship and somebody could be studying at only 50%. I'm sorry, आपको पता नहीं था. एक और इंटरेस्टिंग चीज बताता हूं, लैक ऑफ रिसर्च. देखिए, anybody who wants to apply to Oxford or Cambridge, give me in the chat yes or no. Let's say you have the money. Do you want to apply to Oxford and Cambridge? Now, do you know, if you are a CBSE, HSC, or ICSC student, you are not directly eligible to apply to Oxford and Cambridge till the time you have taken 4 or 5 exams of one particular genre called advanced placements. Lack of research. मैं भी एज अ काउंसलर नहीं बोल रहा हूं, मैं एज अ फादर ऑफ अ ग्रेड 11 किड बोल रहा हूं. All these kids on the Zoom room, they won't remember the iPad we bought them and the MacBook we bought them. They'll remember the time we spent with them while they were struggling about their career. Start spending time, please. Now, universities form देखे आपने देखा, एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स चाहिए. आज के टाइम पे यूनिवर्सिटीज 3 चीज देखती हैं: इंटरेस्ट, स्किल्स एंड एप्टीट्यूड. एप्टीट्यूड निकल के आता है CUET से, SAT से. इंटरेस्ट और स्किल्स निकल के आते हैं एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स से. सो इमेजिन करिए अब कैसे होता है. If your child will apply to a particular college, that college will attach a sheet along with the application. This sheet has 10 columns. The 10th column is SAT and academics. The first 9 columns are leadership skills, communication skills, problem solving skills, creativity. ऐसे 9 skills हैं. Now, another question which some of you will ask me, but my child has not done sports but is a good musician. Please remember, any extracurricular is a good extracurricular. Universities will never compare a sports person with a musician. They compare skills. How? So let's say एक मैम से फिर से थोड़ा सा स्पोर्टी होने की बात करते हैं. मिसेस गुरडिया, आप किचन में भी थी पहले और आप यहाँ पे भी आके बैठ गई. आपको अनम्यूट करने को बोल रहा हूँ. एक क्वेश्चन है, आप बताइएगा.
Yes, sir.
Which city are you joining from, ma'am?
Mumbai, sir.
Sorry?
Mumbai.
I can't hear you properly.
I'm from Mumbai.
Mumbai. What's your child's name, ma'am?
His name is Krishay.
Krishay.
Yeah.
Krishay is in which class?
He'll be going to grade 11 A levels.
11th A levels. Which school?
JBCN Mumbai. Borivali.
JBCN. Borivali. Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Now imagine Krishay and Shivansh, my son, and Krishay. These are 2 kids applying to the same university. They have the similar track record, let's say 95%. They have the same SAT score, let's say 1500. Shivansh says, I have done MUNs and I have done 4 MUNs and I have won 2 awards called HiComs in MUNs. MUN के अंदर एक HiCom होता है अवार्ड और एक बेस्ट डेलीगेट होता है, एक स्पेशल मेंशन होता है. कई अवार्ड होते हैं, बट लेट्स से शिवांश बोलते हैं कि I have done 4 or 5 MUNs and I have 2 HiComs. Versus Krishay बोलते हैं, sir, I have done 4 or 5 MUNs, I have 2 HiComs, but very recently I organized an MUN for my school. अब देखिए यूनिवर्सिटी क्या कर रही है. यूनिवर्सिटी शिवांश के फॉर्म में लिख रही है 4 MUNs, which means the child must have done research, because you need to research about that country, that place, geopolitics to go into an MUN. Research skills, 5 on 10. 2 HiComs must mean that the child is great in communication, talks really well. 2 HiComs out of 4, which means 50% chance, 8 on 10. But when Krishay applies, he gets research, he gets communication, but because he organized an MUN, university says, bro, this kid has leadership skills. 7 on 10 on leadership as well. Every activity resonates with a skill. Why this was done? Because your academics were telling the universities only one thing. How is your child as a student? What about those kids who were great in class, understood everything? In tuitions, understood everything but could not get marks, which means, are they bad students? No. They are good students, maybe bad test takers. जिसको आप silly mistakes बोल देते हैं. That means a good student should not have an opportunity just because one test went for the toss. How ridiculous was that? NEP said no more. No more. So every university, including government universities, were told no more means no more. Academics सिर्फ ये दिखा रहे थे how good a student you are. Extracurriculars tell the university a whole lot more about your child. About their personality, their ability to handle multiple things, their leadership skills, their community awareness. Do they feel for the society or not? They explain you beyond books. They look at you as a person, not a marks getting machine. इसीलिए एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स इंपॉर्टेंट हुए. The thumb rule of getting admissions into the best of the universities today in India or outside India is 30% focus on academics, 40% focus on profile, and last 30% focus on college essays and SOPs. But problem, college essays and SOPs are also dependent on profile. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, थोड़ा सा गले में दर्द हो रहा है because I had fever. Just taking a 2 minutes break for warm water. We'll come back. Please do not go anywhere. Just 2 minutes. Sorry, everybody. So yeah, 70% of admissions is dependent on profile and rest is academics. And academic school of board marks do not carry any relevance because अब application बोर्ड एग्जाम चालू होने से भी 4 महीने पहले चली जाती हैं, बल्कि 6 महीने पहले चली जाती हैं, August, September. The moment your child will enter grade 12, the applications will go. So the school will give you something called a predicted score because board marks are always inflated. So the school gives you a predicted score on the basis of grade 10 marks, grade 11 marks, and grade 12 midterm marks. And the most important is grade 11 and grade 12. इस जंक्चर पे एक चीज बताना बहुत जरूरी है. आप लोग 10th को बहुत ज्यादा तवज्जो देते हैं, देना भी चाहिए, बच्चों के नंबर आने चाहिए. However, 10th is the easiest class of any particular board. 10th is the time when your child needs to do the maximum till October, because after October, the child will get busy in pre-boards and boards. 11th is the most difficult class and you leave everything for grade 11. That's when you start getting late and that's when our children do not get scholarships. As long as your child is getting 85%, trust me, your child is eligible to apply for the best of the scholarships, both in India and outside India, and you'll be surprised. And I'll prove it to you on the slide today. And I'll showcase how is that possible. Just for my motivation in the chat, how many of you think this session has been knowledgeable so far and you are not tired of listening? Because I am not tired of talking. Thank you so much. Just to give you an example, how degrees are changing before I go to universities again. We say our children should do a BBA or a BCom after commerce. Do you know these two degrees, and talk to anybody, they do not even give you a job of 20,000 rupees a month today. Whether you are applying to great universities in Pune or Mumbai, whether you're applying anywhere. You get fascinated by that one student who gets a salary of 50 lakhs without realizing that 50 lakhs also had ESOPs, which would come only after 4 or 5 years. There are better degrees in today's time. So even if you have to do a BCom, ideally your BCom should be BCom Banking and Finance, BCom Mergers and Investments, BCom in Data Science. I really liked when Mala Thakur was kissed by her daughter, because Mala is listening. That's amazing. How many people will be able to bring parents and children together sitting for 4 hours? Thank you so much, everybody. That's your community, high school moms. Similarly, do not go for simple BBA. Go for degrees where you can major in one area and minor in another. Those are the kind of BBA degrees you should be going for. IIT NEET कराना है कराइए. Law of averages will always remain against you. And that's what I was talking about, that careers of the future, which means the careers today and 20 years where your child and my child should be there, 99% of them do not require us to be engineer or a doctor or a CSCS. Rather, newspapers say that 80% of the engineers in this country are unemployable. 1990s, ये मेरा list था universities का. That's me. On the right-hand side, you see the list of my son. Now I'm talking like a father, not a counselor. My list is on the left. You still have the same list for your child. But my list for my child looks very different. There is symbiosis, but not normal symbiosis, but symbiosis School of Liberal Arts. But then there is Flame, and then there is Ashoka. Now let me ask you this question. All of you become a CEO of your own company, even mothers who stay at home. You are the CEOs of that home. You know it, कि आपके husband से लेकर के आपके बच्चे तक सब डरते हैं आपसे. Right? So you are the CEOs of your home. If you have 2 vacancies in your company, or if you have 1 vacancy in your company and 2 candidates apply, First one comes and says, ma'am, sir, I got 95% in school. I got 90% in college. The second one says, sir, ma'am, I got 85% in school, 80% in college. But guess what? When I was coming for this interview, I realized I have done 3 internships last summer and one was under your competition. My question to you is very simple. In the chat, how many of you will hire the first one? How many of you will hire the second one? Everybody will hire the second one, huh? Then why do you forget this when it is about your own child? Why? Are you being a well-wisher of your child? No. If you're forgetting this. That's why when you even look at new age universities where Shivansh is looking to apply, let's say Flame, Ashoka, Laksha, Kriya, you will see they have a 3-year program and a 4-year program. You would say that my child should do a 3-year program because he's getting the same degree. Why to waste another year? You did not realize the 4th year was the internship year and the research year, which was taking your child from 20,000 rupees a month to 1 lakh rupees a month. That 4th year was not a wastage. That was the investment. एक और एग्जांपल देता हूं आपको. मान लीजिए एक बच्चा है आरुष. He is a coder par excellence. He is an amazing coder. He knows all the languages, C++, Java, Kotlin, PHP, HTML. But his parents say, please study in Surat. Do not go outside Surat or Raipur. He will possibly start his job at 3 to 4 lakh rupees a year. With the same qualification, his parents say, go to Bangalore or Gurgaon. He would start his job at 12 to 16 lakh rupees a year. And with the same qualification, if he goes to Silicon Valley, he would start his career at about 1 crore 25 lakh rupees. Allow your children. Do not create your love as a roadblock for your child's success. Allow your children to go outside your city, if possible outside your country, because PIN code matters. Another question comes before we go to universities. Should your child study in India or outside India? Now, I cannot answer this question for all of you. You have to decide for yourself. But let me put it this way. I will tell you 3 things that your child should do over the course of this presentation. And your child will be able to apply both in India and outside India. Ideally, you should allow them to apply because I've seen people who never thought their child will get scholarships, and not one, but thousands of them. And their child is studying abroad or in India on scholarship. And I've seen people who have thought their child will crack NEET and IIT, and that child is only doing BSc botany today. So take my experience and allow your children to at least apply. Why you should think about going? अभी तक हम इंडिया की बात कर रहे थे, अब थोड़ा सा अब्रॉड की बात कर लेते हैं. Why you should allow your child to apply abroad? Number 1, return on investment. Your child will be spending in dollars, but then your child will be earning in dollars. Amazing scholarships as long as you apply well on time. And I'll prove it to you. Global exposure. Do you want your child to be locally successful, or do you want your child to be a global citizen? So you should allow your child to apply. I can understand that your budget is, let's say, 40 lakhs because a good college like Flame or Ashoka in India will cost 40 lakhs. And there are students who get full ride scholarships from these institutions also. So let's say your budget is 40 lakhs. Abroad, let's say it costs 1.25 crores. I can understand you tell your child, beta, I don't have the budget. My budget is 40 lakhs. Can you bring a scholarship of 50 lakhs? For balance 20-25 lakhs, I am ready to go to the bank and get you a loan. Now it's logical. And you are trying to tell me that you can't even take a loan of 25 lakhs when you were ready to take a loan in the house you are living in, and on the car you are driving, and the fridge you bought on Diwali's Flipkart sale, but you're not ready to take a loan on the child who's supposed to buy multiple houses and multiple cars. So थोड़ा सा सोच है, सोच को खोलिए. आपको सिर्फ रैंकिंग्स दिखाता हूं. इंडिया का सिर्फ एक इंस्टीट्यूशन है टॉप 200 में, वो है आईआईटी, वो भी बॉम्बे. उसका रैंक है 147 और हिट रेशियो है 0.01%. दुनिया का नंबर 1 इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज है एमआईटी, जिसका हिट रेशियो है 6%. एंड गेस व्हाट, एमआईटी इज नीड ब्लाइंड. अगर एक बार एमआईटी ने आपको सेलेक्ट कर लिया होता, और अगर आपके पास पैसे नहीं होते, तो एमआईटी आपका फीस वैसे ही गिरा देता. लैक ऑफ नॉलेज अगेन. अब ये सब चीजें आ जाती हैं स्कॉलरशिप्स पे. अब चलिए आपको कुछ स्कॉलरशिप्स दिखाते हैं, बट उससे पहले आई एम टोल्ड दैट माय फ्रेंड अदिति खुराना, who looks after admissions of one of the best art and design schools in the world, School of Visual Arts, where you can go and study art, design, illustration, film, art and technology, design and technology, is there. I need to get her free in next 5 to 7 minutes. Let me invite Aditi on the screen. Aditi, if you are there, can you please say hi?
Hi, Abhishek. Hi, everyone. Hi, all parents and students who are up and about on a Sunday and very, very involved in this conversation. Thank you so much for having me, Abhishek.
Thank you so much, Aditi. Aditi, couple of questions. Let me just stop my screen share so that people can see you properly.
Sure.
Couple of questions for you. It's always thought that art and design is not even a career. Here you are, film stars, Bollywood personalities, they all graduate from School of Visual Arts, big time marketing professionals. What is art and design and why is it important?
Let's break it up. I think we all know what art is. Art is just a form of expression, and it comes out as painting, sculpture, ceramics, printmaking, and design is all about problem solving. It's about finding a solution. हम चाय ग्लास में नहीं पीते, कप में पीते हैं, क्योंकि किसी ने वो हैंडल को डिजाइन एलिमेंट में डाला और पता है चाय गर्म होती है, so we hold it with a handle. So these are the small things between, what is art and what is design. I think we all forget that we are surrounded with art and design in our daily lives. हम कपड़े पहनते हैं, that's fashion design. हम specs पहनते हैं, that is design. The food we eat nowadays, the kind of plating we see in gourmet foods is all art. Furniture is all design. This interface we are talking through Zoom is interaction design. WhatsApp, interaction design, again Microsoft Teams or FaceTime video calls. With technology moving where it is moving, I think art and design is something which is an integral part of our lives, and we somehow still have the mindset that artist तो वही एक चप्पल और झोले में सड़क पे स्ट्रगल करता हुआ मिलता है, जबकि हम भूल गए हैं कि टेक्नोलॉजी इतनी इन्वॉल्व हो गई है even with art, that art is not just about painting a canvas and expressing what your message is across, but art is so much more than that. So yeah, I would say that I think we all just need to be a little more aware. We all just need to be a little more mindful of what we are surrounded with and how beautiful it all is, that everything we look at is art. The music we listen to is art. Everything we do around is all art and design. So yes.
And somebody, because Abhishek was having a little of a cough, so he's just taken a minute break. And somebody also said that, someone design your specs too. They are interesting.
I know you have eyes on them.
all the time, I'm telling you. Okay, so definitely, what you said, and this is something which we have heard from you quite frequently, that design is in everything that typically we have around us, whether it's a bottle, whether it's a cup, whether it's a chair, whether it's even interaction design that you spoke that day, right? Now, before you joined in, Abhishek showed to the parents and the students that GPT also creates some creatives, right? Now, with the obviously the rapid technology and evolution of it, what do you think are the new career paths in art and design do you see emerging in maybe the next few years?
I think this is somewhere I would definitely agree with Abhishek. One career that he really talks about is data science, because there is so much data that is being collected. We will need students who have strong analytical programming skills. So if you think you have that, I think data science is one of them, which is up and upcoming. AI is an integral part of our lives today. It always was, but somewhere it was, we weren't recognizing it so much, but now it's really in our face. So AI, machine learning, and these engineers will be really important again in various industries, who will have to implement solutions based on, what we are experiencing. Then there is cybersecurity specialists, I think, somewhere, because we are all living on this cloud with all eyes that we have, iPhones and iPads and everything. All our data is all there. अगर हम अपनी फिल्म के हीरो हैं तो वहां पर एक विलन भी है who is the hijacker. तो उनसे बचने के लिए we will need some cybersecurity specialists to protect all the data, of course. Then AR, VR again is part of, is already integrated in as far as art and science is concerned. And even like when we go and we watch these 3D movies that we are watching, and over our glasses we have the vision glasses which Apple has just come out with, and I think they're phenomenal. So again,
The Ray-Ban Meta one you are talking about.
So these are some of the things I think which will be the up and coming, which students can really look at as far as like
Aditi, just one quick question. We are short of time. I'm so sorry.
No,
But one quick question. It's always thought that studying abroad is expensive. You're representing one of the finest design schools in the world, and I know School of Visual Arts gives some generous scholarships,
Yes.
totaling to millions of dollars in a year,
Yes.
on the basis of portfolio. If you can tell all the design students what is a good portfolio like, and how many designs, how many illustrations or whatever they should have.
Okay, so with School of Visual Arts, let me just tell you a little bit. We are in New York City, as you can see in the background. It's a 76-year institute. Ranbir Kapoor, Rahul Khanna, they are from SVA. Of course, they did film. Vishal Bhardwaj's son just graduated in 2020, Asman Bhardwaj. He graduated and again from film. Now, School of Visual Arts, because it is a very niche visual art college, we need a portfolio of 15 to 20 artworks. What we are looking at in your portfolio is creativity, potential is what we are looking at, concepts. So if you think you have the potential, you have the skill, and you can put it across. I do portfolio reviews. Feel free to share your artworks with me. Send me 5 works. I'll be happy to give you my feedback. It's very important to tell the admissions officers who are reviewing your portfolio, where do you come from? I always tell students from India that we live in a country which is so rich in culture. We have so many languages across different states. We have so many festivals. Holi is coming, a festival of colors. Every festival is so colorful. We have so many monuments and so much history. We have so many leaders, who have fought for India. So if we try to and different cuisines, of course, how can I miss that? Every bride and groom dresses differently from different states. So if you can showcase that this is my world, this is what I'm surrounded with, this is what I like, this is what inspires me, this is what has really moved me. And if you can put all that in your portfolio, that can really come across as a scholarship portfolio. Remember, there is no interview and there is no entrance exam for any of the art colleges abroad, especially in United States. That's the reason your portfolio is what represents you, and that's what takes you forward. So yes, let me know if anybody wants a portfolio review. I'll be happy to do that.
Thank you so much, Aditi Khurana. What we will do is, ladies and gentlemen, we will send out a WhatsApp message to all of you. We will plan a session on portfolio and a portfolio review. You will be able to showcase your portfolio to Aditi Khurana. We shall actually plan it in next couple of weeks. So keep your portfolios ready. And if required, we will also in the WhatsApp shoot email ID of Aditi Khurana so that you can write to her and know more about not just your portfolio, but also School of Visual Arts, New York. Thank you so much, Aditi Khurana, for joining in.
Have a lovely
I'm so
day, everyone.
I'll have to let you go. But ladies and gentlemen, that's Aditi Khurana, a very dear friend. Coming back to scholarships. Now, this is the most important section for all of you. Please stay hooked on. Please start taking notes. Scholarships in today's time are not just dependent on academics. There are 3 things that are required to get scholarships: a good aptitude test score, decent academics. Yes, you cannot expect a scholarship at 75%. You need to be 85% or higher. But what you need is a great profile. World over, there are enough scholarships available. If you look at Canada, from full ride scholarships like Lester B. Pearson at the #1 university in Canada, University of Toronto, to University of Toronto's International Student Scholarship, to University of British Columbia, full ride scholarship called Karen McKillen, to International Student Award called Donald A. Warung, International Impact Award. I'm very proud to say our student council, I was telling you that we have a student club called GIDE. Last year, our student council president, Siddhant Bhardwaj, got $180,000 of scholarship from University of British Columbia. This year's president, Rushil Chawla, got a full ride scholarship from Flame and a $60,000 scholarship from University of Massachusetts Amherst. So please stay hooked on. I will tell you how you can join the High School Mom Student Club, do internships, do certificate workshops. And trust me, even if you join it, the charges are lesser than your Netflix charges that you pay. So we'll come to that because the intention is only to recover the cost of the cloud and not make it chargeable per se. Then, sorry, where did I go? Okay. Can you all see my screen? Just give me a thumbs up like this. Okay, awesome. Similarly, if you go to United States, and these are just some examples I'm taking, there are hundreds and hundreds of scholarships that our children can apply. And your dream or your child's dream of studying abroad, which you were delaying it only because you thought that he should go abroad for masters, not bachelors, or she should go abroad for masters, not bachelors. Let me tell you, last year, 4 high school mom students, girls, were even given a full ride scholarship to study at the oldest degree granting institution for women in the world called Wesleyan College in the United States. Rather, we even gave them a ticket to fly to the United States. So there are hundreds and hundreds of scholarships. I'm just taking a few examples. But उसके बाद मैं end में ये भी बताऊंगा कि इतनी सारी information तो दे दिया अभिषेक, अब करें क्या? I know that question is going to come up. You've given me so much of information. Thank you. What next? I have the answer for what next. So don't worry. I'll tell you how high school moms will help you. So if you look at Stanford or Harvard or Yale or MIT or Princeton, all of them give scholarships. Forget that. If you look at Flame in India or Ashoka in India, they even give full scholarships. Full scholarships. 4 of my students this year got full ride at Flame. No kidding. So there are amazing scholarships available. Alag-alag naam se jani jati hain. Some will call them as presidential awards. Some will call them chancellor awards. Some will call them automatic entrance scholarship, जिसमें आपको कुछ apply भी नहीं करना है. आपने अगर time पे application भेज दी, which is August, September, you will be automatically counted. The moment you delay beyond October, remember you are not getting any scholarships because scholarship timelines are over. So you will ask me, what is the right time to start? I'll tell you, the right time to start is as early as possible. With my son, I started in grade 7. With your child, you can start it in grade 9. But if you're thinking you will start it in grade 11 and 12, Those of you who have kids in grade 11, 12, do not worry. There's nothing called late in life. But if you have a kid in 9 and 10, start as early as 9 and as early as 10. Because मैंने जैसे बोला, 12th is not available anymore. Applications will go within 4 months of your child entering grade 12. Just to give you an idea, our last year's student council of HSM Student Club, these were 25 students representing thousands of members. They got $23 million in scholarship. That's the power of doing things when your community does it. When a parent becomes a counselor, that's when you start thinking like a father, not like an agent. Example, Siddhant Bhardwaj, president of GIDE Student Council. That was his offer letter. अप्रैल में ऑफर आया था इसका स्कॉलरशिप वाला. बोर्ड के रिजल्ट्स जून जुलाई में आते हैं. But look at this. And I'm very proud to accept, I made him apply to 3 scholarships in UBC. He did not get any one of them full. And I'm proud of it. No scholarship was full, but the 3 scholarships that got together, they gave him $180,000. The fees was $160,000. Four full ride admissions this year at Flame. Everybody says UK does not require SAT. That's my student Aksh Sabarwal. The toughest program in the world is Economics Honours at London School of Economics. And you would see Aksh wrote his SAT and prepared with High School Moms Genius Zen Institute. 2022 full ride offer letter, Riyansh Gupta. 23 full ride offer letter. Look at the dates. March 3rd, February 4th. Do board results come out? No, right? Then how did the admission happen? Because applications went in the month of August, September, and the child had done everything that was required to apply. So the offer letters come before board exams. 2024, $100,000, February 27. 24, December 1st. Imagine offer letter comes as early as December. February, Purdue University, January 13th. Board exams have not even started. A mini Ivy League called Drexel, December 14th. Cornell, an Ivy League, December. Scholarship letter from University of Arizona of $92,000. This year's offers, Arna Garg, King's College London, one of the finest in the world. University of Bath, Jia Shah. March 1st, Navya Seth, Philem University, India, full ride. University of California, March 15th. February 26th, Columbia Business School. If you look at all the dates of the scholarship letters and admission letters, you would realize that applications will go within 4 months in India and outside India of your child entering grade 12. And that's why you need to start as on yesterday. Please do not overanalyze. It will lead to paralysis. So, extracurriculars will give you interest and skills. Aptitude will give you aptitude. Aptitude test will give you aptitude. Now, there are 2 options that you can do. There are certain exams that your child will write. India में एक BBA के लिए 25 से ज़्यादा entrances है. Delhi University is that, Symbiosis SET, Nursi Monji's NPAT, Xavier's XCT, Christ CET, और आप अंधा entrance लिखवाते हैं without realizing that if your child is not good with higher level mathematics, the child will never clear Delhi University ZAT. Versus if your child was good in logic, the chances of child clearing Symbiosis was far higher because that checks you more on logic. So, 2 तरह की चीजें आप कर सकते हैं. या तो आप हर यूनिवर्सिटी का इंडिविजुअल एंट्रेंस एग्जाम लिखिए, या आप मल्टीपल एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स को अवॉइड करिए विद एन एग्जाम कॉल्ड SAT. आपको वेबसाइट्स दिखा रहा हूं. फ्लेम का अपना वेबसाइट बोलता है, अंजू देओस्कर ने भी बोला, अगर आपने एसएटी लिखा तो आपको फ्लेम का एंट्रेंस नहीं लिखना पड़ेगा, which means when you're applying in August, you're filling your SAT score and you're immediately being called for the interview. And guess what? SAT happens multiple times a year and the best score will be counted. But अब आपको मैं बोलूं कि एसएटी का तैयारी कराइए तो बोलेगा कि नहीं, बच्चा खुद कर लेगा। और अगर अभी बच्चा आपको बोल दे कि मैं आईआईटी का तैयारी करना चाहता हूं तो आप 5 लाख रुपए दे आएंगे सम XYZ इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ आईआईटी। एन एग्जाम जिसका हिट रेशियो 0.01% था, उसके लिए पैसा है आपके पास, बट एक एग्जाम जिसका हिट रेशियो 100% हो सकता है, आपका बच्चा 50 से ज्यादा एंट्रेंसेस अवॉइड करेगा इंडिया में और आउटसाइड इंडिया, आप वो नहीं दिला रहे हैं। Please do not ask your child to prepare SAT themselves, because SAT as an exam is not difficult but tricky. It does not check you on concepts, it checks you on strategies. Example, imagine a paper where calculator is allowed, you will go wrong. Because the most obvious answer is the most incorrect answer. While the paper checks you on maths and English, but the questions are not made by maths teachers or English teachers, they are made by psychologists. अभी प्रूव करता हूं आप सबको। सब अपना हाथ अपने टाइप पैड पे रखिए। मेरा जो क्वेश्चन आएगा उसके बाद जैसे ही आपके दिमाग में कुछ आता है, एक नंबर आप दबाइएगा आउट ऑफ ऑल द नंबर्स ऑन योर टाइप पैड। गिव मी वन नंबर दैट कम्स टू योर माइंड राइट नाउ। Imagine, barring one or two, nobody has given me a 0 or a negative. Everybody gave me a positive number. Welcome to the world of SAT. 700-800 बच्चों में से, पेरेंट्स में से कोई 2-3 ने 0 या नेगेटिव दिया है, बाकी सब एक जैसा सोच रहे हैं। According to them, number is always positive. So you cannot make my son, मैं ये भी स्टोरी बताता हूं आपको। सो हाई स्कूल मॉम्स ने अभी रिसेंटली एक इंस्टीट्यूट एक्वायर किया कॉल्ड जीनियस zen, which is one of the best online prep institutions for SAT in the world. और वो क्यों करना पड़ा? बिकॉज माई सन वॉज अ स्टूडेंट एट जीनियस zen. उसका पहला SAT वो दे नहीं पाया बिकॉज द डे ऑफ द SAT he had an Oxford finals also, so he had to go there. तो मैंने अपनी वाइफ को बोला, प्लीज एक बार इंस्टीट्यूट में जाकर के बात करेंगी कि फिर से तैयारी करवानी है 2 महीने के ब्रेक के बाद, हाउ मच विल दे चार्ज, कैन दे गिव सम डिस्काउंट? आई वाज मेंटली प्रिपेयर्ड टू पे, बट आई वांटेड सम डिस्काउंट ऑब्वियसली. I was very happy with the institute because my son scored a 1500 in his SAT, but they charged me full fees. That day when my son got 1500 in his SAT, I did 2 things. Number one, I wrote a letter to him. I still remember I was in Florida, United States. I sent him a postcard and I wrote, Shivansh, congratulations. You do not need to write any other entrance ever in life. And my son wrote the SAT in grade 9. क्योंकि SAT इतना लॉजिकल है दैट उसमें अगर आपका बच्चा 9th में है तो वो SAT लिख सकता है और स्कोर 5 साल वैलिड है. And second thing, we wrote an email as a parent-student community and we acquired Genius Zen. And very proud to say, the first decision we have taken is, even if your child takes SAT attempt twice, thrice, they write in grade 9, they want to take again in grade 10. As parents, you will never be charged again, even if the fees increases. And that's the student assurance that we as parents cannot be guinea pigs anymore. We cannot be paying unethically. We are happy to pay ethically, but we cannot be paying unethically. Anyways, फ्लेम बोलता है कि आप फ्लेम का एंट्रेंस लिखिए या आप 5 साल पुराना कोई भी SAT स्कोर दे दीजिए. सिम्बाइसिस बोलता है आप सिम्बाइसिस का एंट्रेंस लिखिए या 5 साल पुराना कोई भी SAT का स्कोर दे दीजिए. अब इमेजिन करिए एक पेपर साल में 7 बार होता है, आपका बच्चा 3 बार लिख सकता है बेयर मिनिमम और बेस्ट स्कोर काउंट होगा और आप अभी भी उसको मल्टीपल एग्जाम्स लिखवाना चाह रहे हैं. सोचिए, इंडिया के एंट्रेंसेस में 5 सेक्शन आते हैं, मैथ्स, इंग्लिश, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग, क्रिटिकल रीजनिंग एंड जनरल अवेयरनेस. SAT में सिर्फ 2 आते हैं, मैथ्स एंड इंग्लिश, और आप बोल रहे हैं मेरा बच्चा एसएटी नहीं कर सकता लेकिन इंडिया का एंट्रेंस क्रैक कर लेगा। लॉजिक नहीं है। दूसरा, ग्रेड 10 में जो पेरेंट्स हैं उनके लिए एक हाथ जोड़ के रिक्वेस्ट है, प्लीज यूटिलाइज योर टाइम टिल अक्टूबर ऑफ ग्रेड 10। दैट्स द इजीएस्ट क्लास ऑफ सीबीएसई। मुझे पता है आप लोग नहीं मानेंगे, आप इस सेशन के बाद फिर भी बोलेंगे अभी बोर्ड ईयर है, अभी बोर्ड की तैयारी करो, विदाउट रियलाइजिंग दैट बोर्ड की तैयारी अक्टूबर के बाद होगी। 11th is the most difficult class of CBSE, ICSE, ISC, A levels and IBDP. A 95% student drops in 11th to 75. Make use of 10th really, really well, because your child will need to work on profile and academics in grade 11. So please make your child write the SAT before October of this year. It takes 4 months to be SAT ready, and I will give you the number of Genius Zen, and I will circulate a form where you can actually prepare your child online. SAT is an online exam. For heaven's sake, ask your children to prepare online. And like I said, I promised you, even if your child requires 2 attempts or 3 attempts, you would not be asked to pay again, because now Genius Zen is acquired by you, because you are the community. Ashoka requires SAT. Plaksha requires SAT. 50 से ज्यादा आईवी लीग्स, जो बच्चे आपको बोलते हैं कि एसएटी मैंडेटरी नहीं है, every Ivy League has made SAT mandatory again, because essays can be written with ChatGPT. UCAS, United Kingdom का form. People say UK does not need SAT. That's the form, that's the screenshot. There's a space to mention SAT score. Common App. You can even write how many attempts you have taken. MIT, SAT. Just to tell you, I am yet to see a form which does not have space to mention the SAT score. ये एक वो मैजिकल एग्जाम है जो हमारे बच्चों को अननेसेसरी मेहनत करने से बचाएगा, ताकि उनका टाइम कहीं और यूटिलाइज हो सके एक्स्ट्रा करिकुलर्स में. So 50 plus universities take SAT. University applications worldwide. It helps to improve your admissions. It helps to improve your scholarships. But it speaks volumes about you. एक एग्जाम्स होते हैं AP. I will not take much time. You can reach out to the Genius Zen team. They will explain more. But imagine करिए 35 सब्जेक्ट होते हैं, कोई भी बच्चा 3 या 4 लिख सकता है. मैं अभी अगले 15-20 मिनट में शिवांश को बुलाऊंगा. शिवांश से आप खुद पूछिएगा how many APs is he writing, because each AP exam, if written in India, can save 10 lakh rupees abroad. You do not have to study that subject. You do not have to pay the fees either. मैं अपने स्टूडेंट्स को बोलता हूं 3 से 4 APs. शिवांश is writing anywhere between 8 to 9, simply because he knows his father is a baniya. So we will do everything, because universities have money to give. We will save the money. आप लोग सब म्यूचुअल फंड्स में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, इसीलिए ये बनाया है कि अगर म्यूचुअल फंड सही है तो एसएटी और एपीज भी सही है. Like I said, your community has acquired Genius Zen, and we promise you now, you will not have to pay the fees twice like Abhishek Gupta for his son. Even if your child requires multiple attempts over multiple years, the fees right now is about 1 lakh. Next year, it might be 1.25 lakhs, but you would not have to pay again. And 10th is the best time to do SAT. एक CBSE student, ICST student सिर्फ 3 attempts ले पाता है साल में out of 7. June, August and October. June is too near. The first attempt should happen in August and a backup attempt should happen in October. 2 attempts are good. Third should be avoided. That's why do not ask your child to prepare for SAT themselves. I repeat, I have not allowed my child also to prepare for SAT himself, because it does not check you on concepts. It checks you on strategies. So aptitude SAT दिखाएगा. प्रोफाइल आपका गाइड स्टूडेंट क्लब बनाएगा. गाइड स्टूडेंट क्लब, ये सिद्धांत भारद्वाज, जिसको $1,80,000 का स्कॉलरशिप मिला, उसके सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं बिकॉज ऑफ गाइड स्टूडेंट क्लब. बच्चे रेड टी शर्ट्स में वॉलंटियर करते हैं, ऑनलाइन एक दूसरे से मिलते हैं, ऑनलाइन इंटर्नशिप्स करते हैं, सर्टिफिकेट वर्कशॉप्स करते हैं. They run their own clubs. They build profile. They build their leadership skills. We make them network with universities before time. so that universities उनको जानने लग जाएं, पहचानने लग जाएं. So that's called Guide Student Club. How do you become a member of Guide Student Club? You have to go to a website called web.gide.ai. इस पे आपको अपनी फ्री प्रोफाइल बनानी है. टॉप राइट हैंड साइड में लिखा हुआ है बिकम अ स्टूडेंट क्लब मेंबर. उस पे क्लिक करना है. While annual membership fees is 7,000 rupees for next 2 hours from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock, the fees has been made on the website at 4,200. Exactly at 5 o'clock, it will become 7,000. Please do not drop any emails to us to extend it. Once your child is a Guide Student Club member, they can participate in lot of internships and extracurricular activities जो कि गाइड की वेबसाइट पे दिखाई जाएगी. So this is now what you have.
Okay. Okay, I am just going to share my screen from where Abhishek left. Just a second. Okay, perfect. I hope my screen is visible to everybody. Perfect. Okay. So as Abhishek was saying that, the Guide Student Club, you can go on to web.gide.ai and create your profile. And on the top right-hand side corner, you will see that, become a student club member. Now, just yesterday, Abhishek was also talking about the Guide Student Council. We launched its nomination just yesterday. So whoever is interested to be a part of the 5 different committees that Student Club has to offer, whether it is editorial, whether it is Discord committee, whether it is debate and MUN, social advocacy. So there are 5 different committees that a student can be a part of. They have to apply for any of the positions, whether it is senior director or executives. And because we want to keep the entire process very genuine, every student who would be applying for the Guide Student Council will be interviewed by the team over here. So even if it means that there are students who have not got the opportunity in the past in their schools, we would be interviewing them and maybe have them as a part of the Guide Student Council, because we want to give them an opportunity to experience something called as leadership as well, or even work in close connection with students, collaborate with them, launch their own clubs, and do a lot of profile building for themselves. So whether it was Navya from Mumbai, Navya connected with Adya or Shriya in Pune, and they did a lot of activities together. So that's what the Guide Student Club does. Whether it was Abhishek spoke about Siddhant Bhardwaj, whether it is Rushil, who got 100% scholarship from Flame, or even for that matter, he has got an offer from UMass Amherst as well. And why typically students become a part of the Guide Student Club? Because as Abhishek was talking about that, universities are looking at the profile on a holistic basis. And when you have to write essays, these are the kind of opportunities that a student participate in. They are able to write their essays or SOPs or personal statements, as well as they are able to share about these things into during their interview process also. So it's a very simple thing. Go on web.gide.ai, create your profile. If you do not have your profile, or if you have your profile, you just need to log in. And just a second. Okay, just a minute. Okay. Okay. Yes. Of course. I don't know. Something happened and my screen went off. Abhishek, are you there? Abhishek, you
Yes,
are on.
I'm here.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here. I'm not too sure if my screen is visible. I'll try and share again. All right. It's important for parents to understand here. Every Guide Student Council, Student Club member will not come into our Student Council. You can become a member, but to come into the Student Council, you have to then go into the quiz section of the guide. And in the quiz section, you have to apply for various positions for the student council. You will be asked certain questions, and then you will be called for an interview or an essay or a video of 30 seconds where you have to introduce yourself. Then only you can become a GIDE student club member, student council member. That's Siddhant Bhardwaj's resume after being into our student club. That's Khushi Monga, who applied to 10 universities, got admitted into all 10 with scholarships. Now, the most important part is you have now got to know about the best careers in PCM, PCB, commerce with maths, without maths, designing, as well as humanities. You've got to know that the current best universities in India are not the same that they were when you and me were studying. You also got to know how important SAT is for your child's admission, both in India and outside India. One exam, magical exam, multiple opportunities. You also got to know that 70% of admissions are now dependent on profile. We have given you an opportunity to build your profile to the GIDE HSM Student Club. The fees is 4,200 rupees a year for next 2 hours. The actual fees is 7,699. And at 5 o'clock, the website will again show 7,000. For next 2 hours, you can become a member of the GIDE Student Club and apply for the Student Council. Elections are open till 31st of March, but every Student Club member will not be in the council. There will be no need to fight, write emails. We will not respond. If your child is good, we will select it. Every year we have been selecting. Last year's Student Council was 25 members, got $23 million in scholarship, but members got much more scholarships than the Student Council itself. However, this year also, our Student Club has got some amazing offer letters, which I've shown you. Netflix, Amazon Prime, and Disney Hotstar put together cost you 82 rupees a day. If you do it in 2 hours, Student Club will cost you 11.5 rupees a day. You decide. Now, where do you start? The first problem that you all will face is we have got an understanding of the careers, but which one is the right career for my child? The second one would be, I have got an understanding of how important profile is, but apart from Student Club, what are the other profile building activities, competitions? शिवांश जैसे सब कुछ ऑनलाइन करता है, सिर्फ फाइनल्स के लिए ऑक्सफोर्ड हार्वर्ड गया था, बाकी सब चीज वो ऑनलाइन सेम लैपटॉप से करता है जो आपके बच्चे के पास है, जो मेरे बच्चे के पास है. सो प्रोफाइल इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये बता दिया अभिषेक, बट वो कौन से सर्टिफिकेट प्रोग्राम्स हैं, वो कौन से समर प्रोग्राम्स हैं, वो कौन सी एक्टिविटीज हैं जो मेरे बच्चे को पार्टिसिपेट करना चाहिए? You have told me that the universities have changed. Can you suggest me the right universities for my child? Or my child is entering grade 11, which should be the right subjects for my child? And which exams my child need to take? ये कुछ questions अभी भी आपके unanswered होंगे और अब उसका solution दे रहा हूं आपको. High school moms, after 2 years of research, last year December, launched something called GPaths. It's a 90-minute online